Sunday is a blind light. Sunday is a blind light. Sunday is a blind light. Sunday.
Good morning, gearheads. It's Sunday. It's early. That means it's time for the Blind Mike Project. Go to blindmike.net for all of Blind Mike's links and shows, including Why Are You Laughing?, which has new episodes out each week. This week on the show, we meet a comedian banned from Joe Rogan's Mothership. We mourn our friend David Collins. Also, will there be a Will Smith roast? Chris D'Elia goes on a rant. And we return like buzzards to pick the rotted pieces of comedy flesh off of the sun-bleached bones of G.D. FENDERSON's first comedy special. All that and more. And now your host, a man who won't see 3-eye Atlas until it's way too late.
Blind Mike Gillis!
That voice felt like we went backwards in AI's technology.
It was awful.
G.D. FENDERSON.
Honestly, though, yeah, we should never say that guy's name, right? So I'm okay with that one. But
That's fair.
oh my god,
That's a good point.
Mike, Mike, how are you doing, Mike?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Happy Sunday.
I don't know what to make of. There's chaos happening before the show. I don't know what to make of any of it. There seems to be tension between Casey Day and our guest. Craig Ironheaded Coney is on assignment. Very top secret mission that I've been sworn to secrecy about. And I don't know. We'll get started here today, I guess. Electra didn't have the guts to show up today, huh?
Well, her guts are why she's not here. Her
coward.
guts are all messed. She's sick. So.
She must have really strong opinions on today's episode because she's not paying attention to it. So that's good.
I'll tell you what. Listening to that intro, do you see her value now? My God, that was
Miss Electra in the intro. It was funny because Electra gave such a strong opinion on the Louis thing, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting. We might have a debate." So then we made our point. We played another clip, and then we were like, "See, Electra?" And she's like, "I wasn't listening." And I was,
No, she was shaving her legs. She was doing lady stuff, Mike.
Okay, well, good, fun chat, but fun episode last week, nonetheless. And hopefully we have another fun one this week. I'm not sure, given the way things have started here. I don't know what to expect. Emotions are high. The producers are very angry. I can tell. There's a lot of tension from the producers. I don't know if I feel the same way, but we will figure that out in a moment. Right after I remind you to go to blindmike.net. It was just mentioned in our intro, but I'll just remind you that the Howard Stern versus Don Imus episode is up for members now. You can check that out. We'll have more bonus content coming for you this week, unless Craig doesn't make it back from his secret mission. So hopefully there will be that up there for Patreon and YouTube members. So consider becoming one, and we appreciate you guys. Or just support the show for free wherever you get podcasts. All right, should we get into our first topic today? Because we've got a guest that's, I'm sure, chomping at the bit. He seems very excited to be on the show today. Seems in good spirits. That's nice.
It is nice. Oh, no.
You said you were going to...
You seem panicked. Oh, God. Why is he on already?
I don't know.
We are going to play clips first.
Chaos. It's chaos over here.
I guess he can join us for the clips if he wants, but I just wanted to set up the show. David Collins David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show. I don't know if they'll be rebranding. I guess we'll get to the bottom of that in a moment with our guest, but we have some clips to play. There was an announcement. The streets were abuzz with this news. I'll be damned. It seems David Collins, our friend of David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show, never existed. Oh, can you believe it? It's heartbreaking. But let's hear this week's version of, it wasn't called Drive Time David Collins anymore. It was just called Drive Time. So let's hear a little bit of that.
So we're going to be pulling behind the curtain today on that David Collins thing. Do you have anything to say about that? I didn't give this much thought. No. Why don't we start by celebrating? I have some way to celebrate here. We're going to break some laptops to celebrate the pull behind the curtain. I just wanted to let everybody in on the joke today because it felt weird. I'm not really doing that many projects David Collins-wise right now. It's been 3 years.
3 years.
It's been 2 years and like 10 months.
Yeah.
Or 2 years and 8 months.
So David Collins is dead. David Collins, I guess, never existed. That wasn't his name at all. Let's hear a little more about it.
So I'd walk over there, and I was looking for a new creative outlet other than the stand-up that I was performing at that time, and I thought, why don't we I wanted to start a podcast that specifically ridiculed Portland comedian Colin Maddox. That was really kind of the intention of the show at first.
Very niche.
To do...
Very niche. Just targeting one guy. I like it, and that's why I think I fell in love with David Collins as quickly as I did. I didn't realize the idea of that show was just to annoy one guy.
2 years, one guy. You're a psychopath. Fourth, you're a psychopath.
Do so, I created a character that was formerly in radio and was fired, and we create a show around that context. So anyway. So the David Collins aspect of things. My name's Forrest. I'm going to be
shit!
It's a character that I created, obviously. What?
This is
The
brand new
news is
information to me.
The jig is up.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
It was funny, though. The first episode of David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show, I didn't let anybody know. You know, they said, Forrest is doing some sort of podcast or something like that.
You hear that,
weird.
Blind Mike?
And then just at the start of the show, I say...
What does that mean?
Yes, he does.
Why is that a shot at me? I don't even get it.
They mentioned you again.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody. And I start explaining the David Collins background, and these guys giggling in the background, really... Anyway, it's kind of funny listening to that in context back over.
Yeah, so David Collins it wasn't even his name.
Still getting used to this.
It's weird that a guy named Forrest came up with a character named David Collins. Forrest sounds much more ridiculous, but...
Mm-hmm. Well, now, because we know the guy for 2 years, but I think if we would have known from the beginning...
Did we ever really know the guy, though? That's what has Craig really angry. It seems like Forrest is angry at me for some reason. Craig is furious with Forrest. Craig and Casey and Forrest hate each other clearly based on what I watched before the show. So I don't know, but we've got a little more to play here before we bring him on.
I'm just going to need an ID before I call him Forrest confidently. That's all. Like, send me your driver's license.
Right. Is this another new kid? Is this another wacky bit of his? Yeah.
Yeah. Forrest because he lives in the corn. I get it. You're mocking us again. We'll fall for it again. God damn it.
Yes.
We're idiots on the coast. All right. Sorry. It's called deception, this one.
He is.
Izzy, did I ruin this for people? I'm sorry. I just wanted to let people in on the joke. Obviously, and also, everybody knows how much I hate deception. And at this point, there's no point to the deception. I'm just being deceptive.
Everyone knows
there was a point when he was on with Tyler Meyerhoff. then there was a point, but
everyone knows I hate deception is a great line.
For a guy who's been in character for 3 years.
He's wearing a mask the whole time.
It kind of bugs me. I don't have an overarching... We've accomplished the goals of the show, really.
Wait till this gets back to Blind Mike.
And the Blind Mike saga was good. Some of the Dabbleverse stuff, that was kind of interesting getting involved. It's funny because
it's very fun.
You can just interact with the TV. You can watch shows and then you can be like, oh, I'll just create a character. And then a year later, I'll just be interacting with these people I watch on the TV. Louis J. Gomez, for example. I kind of wish that saga went a little better,
fun.
but it was fun.
That was my favorite.
And we got the confrontation and stuff. I just wish there was a little more follow-up in that. That was kind of a letdown, but pretty good. We hit all the sagas that I wanted to. The Ray DeVito stuff, the Tom Myers stuff.
Blind Mike's in his studio saying, I knew it!
He's like, he didn't see that one coming, though, probably.
Oh, yeah. Good one.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Mike, how do you know when you're done wiping? Just
did you see it, Mike? Yeah, I think it was fair to say I knew David. I thought his real name was David Collins. I will give you that. But I suspected it might have been a character. When I heard Color of the Day on his show, I suspected he may have been in on the joke. But
you've always been sort of like arm's length. You're like, I don't trust this.
Well, my thing is, we'll talk to him about it in a minute. But my thing was like he never broke. Like when we texted or anything, like literally never broke. Which got me to the point where I was like, well, I'll never talk to the real guy. So what's the point of this? Maybe I'll just interact with him from afar, you know?
Mikey, I'm not going to break confidence here, but he would call me from time to time, and we just chat. And he was doing it as David Collins.
Right.
Why? What was the point of that?
Right. Got him. Guy's blind, everybody.
Yeah, he's blind as shit.
Did you know that?
Yeah, that's true.
All right. I'm going to end here on Krager's.
So this is what's really interesting is texting with Craig. He, for some reason, is furious about this. And I'm not joking. All right, I'll let you in on a bit that I do. Sometimes I exaggerate things about Craig's life for comedic effect, ever so slightly. This, I swear to God, he is the angriest I've ever heard him. It's crazy to me. I don't get it. Like, he's heartbroken about this, but it seems like Forrest or David still has some love for Craig, at least.
When Craig angrily texted me, I was like, Craig, I got some bad news about HACKRIDE the Demon. You're going to need to sit down.
Craig was pissed, but it seems like David liked Craig, at least.
Yeah.
3 years in the making.
And this one's kind of wraps. You know, David Collins' 30-minute half-hour shows kind of run its course. I could try to think of new things, like having Craig on and doing having a co-host of a show on your show, and just making them do the show that they usually do, unbeknownst to them. That's a funny concept.
That was a very funny idea. And you know what I'm thinking might have happened? For anyone that doesn't know, David had Craig on and kind of did like a surprise "Why You Laughing" about Drake Sather. And amazing. Craig found it very funny. Craig told me right away about it. He was gleeful. And I think maybe like in Craig's mind to think, oh, that wasn't genuine. You know, he wasn't as excited to present me that episode. It broke Craig's heart. It didn't just break his heart. It broke him as a man. Like he was spiraling when I talked to him.
Never look at Drake Mather again the same way.
Drake
ruined him.
Yeah.
Sather, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know any other co-hosts that I'd want to do that to, though. It was fun with Craig.
It's a funny idea.
Craig's
very fun,
by the way. Shout out Craig.
Yeah, he's in the corner here, isn't he?
He's always here. He's always watching.
Oh, he's always with us.
Try to get Jamie from Rogan podcast and just the whole time make him Google shit.
Yeah, like it was a funny idea for a show. I guess the tough thing would be booking people, you know, but because even booking Craig, not many people know who that is, unfortunately. So that would be the tough thing. But let's bring the man on himself for the first time on the Blind Mike Project.
Booking people sucks.
I'm sorry?
Booking people sucks.
I can only imagine, buddy.
You know, that's the worst part.
I don't know. I don't know what to make of this man now. He seems like a bit of a prickly pear.
That's not true.
He's got beef with me that I guess he's going to air out today.
I don't know. You haven't called me in a year, and you just say, "Oh, I talked to David." You never talk to me. You text me mean things sometimes.
What mean things do I text?
I don't.
Drop the bits, Forrest.
I have an old phone.
So what's real now? You're gonna broadcast as Forrest? That's your real name?
Probably. Well, I kind of have for the last like 6 years on different. You know, I did my own Twitch and thejoking.com. You know, I originally made that on my YouTube channel like 5 years ago, and then I just took it down. That was the other giveaway. I was like, oh, there's a guy back behind those sunglasses. There's a real man back there somewhere. So,
you know, his eyes are dreamy, Mike.
Oh, thank you.
You're hiding those from us.
What was the, other than menacing that one rival of yours that you mentioned in the first clip we played? What was the reason? Because you were like, we kind of did all we could do.
Oh, well, he's just an Iowa comedian that moved to Portland and started what I deemed to be an unnecessary and horrible true crime comedy podcast.
Okay.
So
did
I wanted to listen to that.
Kill himself or what?
No,
mission accomplished.
He kind of ignores anybody from Iowa since he moved to Portland, but he's thriving out there. He turned the podcast into a live show, and it's not going poorly.
So you felt like you accomplished everything you could with David Collins.
Yeah, we went through this. I don't really have any more ideas or like aspiring guests. I don't know what, shows I'm interested right now. It kind of ran its course.
The character was very
Really
funny,
sucked.
but I guess my question, was the point of the character, like when I was on and like you could tell that I got the joke, kind of like, are you fucking with me still, or like what was the point of the character? I guess is what.
It's just all fun. I mean, if people get the joke, I guess it's all fun. It kind of had like an unnecessary aspect of exposing some people's worst qualities sometimes, like Tom Garland, for instance. Like if you didn't get in on the joke, then you kind of act like an asshole, and that was kind of funny.
Yeah,
Ray
that
DeVito.
guy, for anyone that doesn't know, Ray DeVito, he's gonna sue
Ray
you.
DeVito's a good example. Well, now
I like the idea of Ray DeVito looking to sue David Collins that doesn't exist. But yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, Tom Garland was a comedian that David interviewed, and Tom, I guess, didn't like his experience because he could tell it was a character, but he didn't like the character or something, and then went out of his way to try and get David banned from comedy clubs in the area and try to have him unbooked. And he badmouthed him all over town.
He did. He was telling people, he was putting the word out, and I thought that was pretty crazy. And he blocked like people that he's in the movie with and like produces with and friends with just because they were associated. It was kind of wild behavior.
Now, Craig is furious with you. I'm not joking.
Makes no sense. Craig's the only. I mean, no offense to you guys, but Craig I like the most. He's very funny.
It's a little hurtful. The little last part was really hurtful, but
Nice having you on, David. David, I said that.
but no, Craig is. He's like, I was gonna invite this guy to my parents' house, which I don't know what that was about, but
He didn't see me in Boston. I don't know.
but he said he was gonna have you at his parents' house. He was pissed. He did make a good point. He's like, and this was when you said you didn't want to come on. I was messaging with him. He's like, this motherfucker. We gave him control of the YouTube channel, and he was fucking with us. He was not pleased with you.
Well, that's his problem. I don't know what to say.
All right, fair enough. I feel like there's a lot of David Collins in Forrest. Am I wrong about that? Just from the brief amount I've communicated with you?
Probably. I mean, it was me for 3 years.
He's kind of a dick, right, Casey? Am I wrong?
I was telling you, this man is
Are
okay.
you mad
can
at
I
us or what's happening here?
No. What do you mean? I miss Electra. I don't know what's up with that. What do you?
Well,
I mean,
sure, we all do.
clearly, I'm not
Tommy
the only
hurts.
one that's felt slighted by you two.
we all miss her deeply, but
Can I ask you, Forrest, real quick, how did it feel doing a character and then sitting on a show with a toilet? I mean, were you mad at that? We sensed that you did not like that.
I've long forgotten that interaction.
Okay. We were going to make David and Jan a thing, but you were not into it, so we kept doing it.
Of course not.
how could you be? That I understand.
That's
pretty
very
smile,
cartoonish.
David.
So what's next what can people expect from Forrest or David Collins or whoever you are?
I don't know. Keep up. Well, the drive time's going to continue, of course.
Okay. Wait, is it
I'm
going to
not
be
going-
rebranded or is it just drive time now?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Asshole drive time.
This week, I'm just doing me and Delicious. I think we're going to do some sort of call-in thing. We'll try to figure that out. I'll bring some things to the show, but just me and Delicious this week. Mix it up. See if I'm looking for inspiration.
So Delicious is a real guy.
Yeah, Delicious. I mean,
All right, David.
nice?
Well, sorry to bother you. We'll see you on down the road, I guess.
Well,
Everyone,
my
go
name's
follow
was
follow
great.
Drive Time David Collins every Wednesday morning.
I hope people like the show. I think you can go back and watch, like, starting at episode 30. It gets really good. I think there's a lot of things you can get from it, especially if you know the guest. I think it's a good rewatch. And the reality show is a lot of fun, too. But it's a lot of work. There's no Jerry ever. It was all me the whole time. It's a lot of work to, like...
That
book
was the most
people
devastating thing.
and write
What?
things and then
He
edit
texted
it.
me, there was no Jerry. And I would have rather lived in blissful ignorance if I'm
It
being
was a
honest.
lot. So, and now
Who was I looking for? Who was I interrogating the gas kept criminal over?
Oh, well, that's a fun bet. People like puzzles.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we find something for you. 'cause
Endless.
it's-
The chat is on fire. I just got to say
Oh,
right
well,
now.
like, what are they saying?
Oh, yeah, and
Well,
I didn't even actually feel good about coming on this show, but it would help clear up just so I can get more people to just be
You didn't
on
feel
the
good in
show.
what way?
Oh, well, I was, I was a little irritated with you, Mike, but I've forgotten that. You know, it's also some of my fault too, because I kind of get triggered by, if I feel like I'm being messed with by a disabled person, it's like a trigger for me.
You feel
You
like
were messing with us.
You feel like you were being messed with.
Yeah, you were kind of.
Okay, so this is a character
You
too.
would say nice things about me on your show, but then you would ghost me and not text me back. Or
I
not
gave you
call me.
control of the YouTube channel.
You'd tell me, yeah, but the whole time you would just send me criticisms, and I'd say, "Can you call me sometime?" And you'd say, "Yeah."
Like
I call
what?
you.
What was a
never
criticism
call
I sent you?
I don't. It was an old phone, but you would send me like.
Oh, it was an old phone. That affects your memory.
You would just put me down constantly. I say, "What am I doing? What am I doing this for?" This was also not.
So this is a character too. The
This whole
forest
thing.
thing.
I went over this on Drive Time David Collins, but you were Instagramming me, going out of your way to say like, "Hey, let's collaborate on something." If you ever had an idea,
I liked it. I thought you were a funny guy.
A collaboration doesn't involve you just saying, "Yeah, go do your own thing," but you can do it on my channel. That's not a collaboration. That's like weird. It was fine. I wanted.
Well, your idea was not to. I said I would do a show with you if you wanted, and your idea was to do a morning show without me. You said you didn't want to do it, and you said you wanted to do it on my channel. I offered to do a show with you if you would have liked, and you wanted. So what I offered was a channel with maybe you could build more of a following by promoting yourself on this channel. If you didn't want to do that, you didn't have to.
Yeah, it was a little. Yeah, and that's what made it. A reason why I would. Go in that direction. But
What's your irritation with me?
I just think we have a different idea of how that all started.
But David, didn't I offered to do a show with you, didn't
I don't recall that.
Did you have an idea for a show with me that I turned down? Did you want to do Drive Time David Collins with me?
You continued, and I had the clips. Like I said, we documented this sometime in a Drive Time David Collins. But you were badgering me in a way, not badgering me. I liked it, so I don't. That's a bad choice of words. But you were Instagramming me saying, "Let's do a collaboration." Sometime 3 times in the course of 8 months.
So I was badgering you to do a show with you, and you're mad that I didn't do a show.
Well, this is the
Checks
crux.
out.
I offered to do a show with you.
This is the crux. At the beginning of September, on your show, you said, I've offered him to do a show on my channel, and I said, "What is this? Isn't anything I've ever heard before." So I called you that day, and I said, "What do you?" I said, "Yeah, I guess I'll do a show. I'll find a co-host. I'll look at Matt."
No, that's David. That's not true. Actually, what happened was you said you didn't want to do it, and then months went by, and you said I've reconsidered, and I'd like to do it.
Right,
So you're lying when you say you've never heard of it. You're lying when you say you never heard of it.
Whatever the case, maybe that detail, but the details.
But that's a major detail. That's a major detail.
Let the audience decide.
No. Let you decide. It happened to you.
I know. But we disagree that it's a major detail. But the point being that your
wrong.
idea of a collaboration was always, I've offered him to do a show, show on my.
But I
show.
also offered to do a show with you that you didn't want to do.
I don't recall that. Cinder.
I said if you have any idea, what I said was if you have any ideas to do a show with me on my channel, whatever you want to do, I'm open to it. I said I thought you were funny, and whatever you wanted to do was fine with me. You never asked me to be on the show. I would have done that if you wanted.
Yeah, but I didn't have any ideas. You know what I mean?
Okay.
How is that my fault?
No, it's not. I'm just saying.
What
By
is
the
your
way, this is
irritation
the
with me
show.
then?
What happened, I'm saying, is just that you never called me and you would just put me down through the form of texts every week.
Okay, so you're lying about the text, obviously, and I never called you. You were a character.
no
you
doxing
were a
of text
character that
now.
never broke.
You can look at the older episodes and see that this is a different phone.
Mike is holding up a flip phone.
Okay, good. As long as my number's not on there.
It wasn't.
It was?
Listen, no, it wasn't. Can I just say my thoughts here? I think that where David's coming from is a place of love. He wanted to have a relationship with you.
Well,
and
okay, I get it. But what didn't I do that irritated you? Call you?
Yeah, at any point you would just send me
What conversation was I going to have? You were in character the entire time.
I mean, that's not. I say hey
that's the
there, and
thing.
you feel like I'm pranking you. Even this week, I called
You are breaking us.
You were
You're not
a
David
character
Collins.
named David Collins. You had a fake persona.
and I was very open in the form of a phone call to communicate everything behind the scenes to you.
That's
But
just
you
not
never
true.
called
We
me.
texted and we talked off air. We talked after shows that we did together,
Well,
and you were the same guy. You were the character.
You know what I mean? I don't know what's being recorded. I recorded Ray DeVito.
Okay, good, terrific, good for you. What does that mean? What does that have to do with anything?
I'm just saying, if you're in front of a microphone, you can't just speak frankly.
Well, David, you can be recorded on a telephone as well.
Well, I have a little more trust. I don't know what to say. This is a
Why would
weird-
you have? You just said you recorded Ray DeVito. Why would you have? What do you mean you have trust?
Well, it's just an example of you shouldn't speak in front of a microphone.
But I should speak to a guy on the phone privately. I should feel safe talking to a guy openly, to a guy who's doing a character and wants to like now make a bit where it's like we had some rivalry and I was rude to you or something.
All right, guys. I think
I'm distracted by Josie. I'm just really offended. She told me I have no talent. I have a lot of accomplishments. I've done okay things. I work at a grocery store, but that's okay.
Well, I think he's a very funny guy. I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is another character. I don't know. Maybe he didn't like me the whole time. I don't know what this is, but
I am disappointed by your show's direction recently. But I like your Why Are You Laughing?
In what respect?
Well, it's half of it being Steel Toe and Stuttering John.
Oh,
doesn't really fit your brand, in my opinion.
We haven't talked Stuttering John much in the last.
Isn't it on last week's thumbnail?
Who was?
He's good for the thumbnail, Forrest.
I'm just saying.
Don't take that from me.
Don't
Don't take that from me. You're taking so much.
But
I think when you found me, we were talking a lot more Stuttering John.
No, that's not true. That might have been when you
absolutely
that way.
We've talked about him twice this calendar year, I think.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm just a fan of your Why Are You Laughing? So I like the comedy.
Amazing.
Oh, thank you, pal. You can
Get him at blindmike.net.
Continue to watch those, I guess. Any other issues you have with me that you want to voice, other than that I talk about Stuttering John?
No, I don't. No, I've been pretty open. I think I've gotten my point across. I don't really have much of a point. You asked.
I think we should end this with each saying something very nice about the.
All right, enough, Casey. I'll handle it.
I think Blind Mike is the funniest of the three. I joked about Craig earlier, but
that's very kind. I don't really get what happened here, Forrest. I always liked the character David Collins. I thought you were a very funny guy. I offered my YouTube channel to you. I'm sorry that was insulting for some reason.
No, it wasn't that.
But
follow through.
But I follow through. We gave it to you every week to do whatever you wanted. You could have asked me to come on. You could have asked me to co-host with you, be a guest, whatever you wanted to do.
To be fair.
What's that?
It's just to be fair. Some weeks Craig didn't answer his phone, which is just in hindsight.
Well, tell me that. If you told me that, I would have answered.
I know it's whatever. I'm not holding any of this.
Oh no, it doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like you're holding it too close to your heart.
No, I just thought you were kind of rude, and then you came to Iowa and you didn't even let me know.
I was in a state. I wasn't there to hang out, Dave. I was there with the show.
Well, you didn't even tell me about the show. I had to find out through a chatter. I went to the show.
I didn't think of it. I didn't have time to hang. What am I going to say? I'm in the same state as you.
Leading up to it, you were worried about I would have brought more people if I knew that. I could have gotten more Des Moines people to show up. And in hindsight, the room was filled as it was, but
and it was for Minif fans. We didn't just want random people there. It's not my show to do that. It's not my thing to invite people to.
Turns out I know a lot of Kirk fans that didn't know about the show.
That's good.
Well, I didn't tell them about it because I knew 24 hours beforehand. I'm just saying, it was weird behavior. I don't know how I'm supposed to.
You were playing a character. I'm sorry I wasn't best friends with you. I don't understand.
What am I supposed to think about that?
Mean in what way?
I don't know. You're dismissive.
I don't.
What do I have to say? I want to hear about this Chris D'Elia segment, honestly, because we were asking last week if he was still working.
Well, you'll find out later in the program.
Oh, is it later? Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
All right, buddy. Well.
Oh, my last name's Shane Rock. I'm from Galena, Illinois. Just a little context.
Anywhere people can follow you. A real guy.
The David Collins stuff, or you can look at my old YouTube channel. I might revive. I don't know if I'm going to split things, or we'll see. I'll probably just keep on the David Collins stuff, but it has to be on brand. I've always been mindful of that, so it's kind of difficult. How can one not be dismissive to a guy who's in character? I don't know, because there was an open. Yeah, I think you should be nice to people. That's all.
But you're being kind of a dick now, and you were playing a character who was kind of a dick. You see?
What
was I going to do? All right. Well, we'll do that. Thank you, Forrest. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, buddy.
Nice to meet you, Forrest.
CHOENRCK. What's your address? All right. Bye, guys.
I don't know what to make of that.
Can I talk again? Am I allowed?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step on. I just,
Well, no, it's fine. It was just the idea of you being like, everyone say one nice thing. I wasn't there mentally.
It's very pretty eyes, but he does not seem to like me. This is what I was trying to say. It sounds like it's coming from a place of Mike, he's a fan. He likes you. He did not get like the reciprocation of the sort of partnership.
I gave him the channel.
But
he could have done whatever he wanted.
You don't have to tell.
My worry every week was that he was going to do something that I would lose everything,
right.
And he didn't do that, obviously. But I'm saying, like, that's how much trust I put in him, that I let him have control of the channel for an hour and a half a week, or more than that. He could have stayed on as long as he could have taken over.
Trust. It takes a while for Mike to build trust. Let me just tell you that. And
right.
So yeah. And you, like I said, you always kept him at arm's length because I think you sensed this was always a character.
Sensed? Okay, let's enough with the bit. Sensed? Of course it was a character. I thought it was funny. He did color. His entire show was Scorch and Opie references. I knew it was a character from the moment I saw it or heard it, whatever. Like, of course it was a character. I played along with it. I don't get it.
Well, Craig and I are getting personal calls from the same guy. He's just shooting the shit with us as David Collins.
And he was in character with you guys.
Yeah. And
I've talked to him on the phone before, but he had some thing of like, well, you didn't call me the last time. And it's like, I was talking to a character. I didn't know what we would have solved.
I really just think, like, listen, man, I could actually identify with a little bit, like, you're an awesome talent. It's awesome to, like, work with an awesome talent. And then, like, if you're an Iowa in the corner and you're like, I got something here, like, this is going to work. And then you're trying to figure out what the show's going to be.
If you were doing, I have to break down another wall. If you were doing HACKRIDE, don't tell anyone, guys, but they're the same person.
Don't tell Craig.
And if you said, let's talk off air, and then I was like, hello.
And you're like, hello, Mike. How's it going?
I'd be like, okay, I'm not going to do this.
You were much nicer to David about it than you would have been to me. That is for sure.
Definitely. Yeah.
But also, yeah, you gave him control of the channel. This reminds me, I'm having OJ flashbacks, right? Just like not enough thanks or not enough appreciation. So people like need to feel a certain way, you know?
Here's the thing, though. When you say that, it makes me think like, oh, maybe it is something about me. Because, like, OJ was mad. We didn't thank him enough. David or whatever his name is mad. We didn't thank him enough, I guess. So maybe I'm bad at that. But it's not intentional. I apologize. I'm sure it's my own issues that I have. But thank you to everyone that interacts with the show in any way. I'm not good enough at saying that, but I don't know. I assume the thank you I gave David was, hey, take over my channel. Like, I thought that was me doing enough to say, hey, I think you're a funny guy. I like what you do. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not trying to make it seem like having this channel is some great gift, but it's all I've got, you know?
Right.
I'm not Joe Rogan. I'm not a career maker if I have you on as a guest. Like, so I don't necessarily know what these people want from me. Because it's like, oh, you need to thank us. And then when I do, it's like, oh, geez, thanks for nothing, you know?
I mean, I just think that in a weird way, in a good way, because you're not able to like we're all narcissistic, egocentric, stare at ourselves. Since you're not able to do that, you internalize a lot more things, and you look for actions more than words, right? Like you trusted me or didn't trust me until I showed you with actions that I was not going to fuck your shit up, right? Like
right,
and so. Which is
people don't crazy in hindsight that I gave him that trust.
Crazy genius. Look at you now. But I think that says a lot. Like, so if you don't know that coming in, it can seem like, you know, I did a whole show in the beginning as a character, how we did a game where you left me on red. It was an introduction to Tukey to the world, right? Because I had the same interactions with you where I'd be like, Mike, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And you're like, nothing. And then I realized that's not how you communicate. And I learned, like, you are more an action guy than a word guy. You don't like to have the big build-up things. Just do it and then move on. And so you got to learn that flow.
Yeah. I don't know that I had an interaction with him that I did not respond. I may have texted instead of called him.
Just me. Nice.
But I don't think I had an interaction with him. Well, with you, there were sometimes like long
Long
messages
breaks,
that I
yeah.
simply couldn't read.
I was bad at that at the beginning. Yeah, I'd say books.
but with him, I do think I at least texted back to every interaction. I don't know. That was weird. I don't really know what to make of it. What was the chat say? You said the chat was.
Yeah, so we got a chat in the beginning here for Boxing Dad that was, if you get David Collins off the show now, I'll donate $100. And that was like the first thing. And then,
sorry if I missed the window, Boxing Dad.
Well, Mike, here's the thing.
Well, David Collins was never on the show.
No, exactly. That was, I said that in chat, and he's like, you got me. But all right, here it is. $99.99 from Boxing Dad.
No.
You win on a technicality, HACKRIDE. That's right.
Boxing Dad, that's too kind of you. A member since day one.
Very kind. And this one came in before that, so we'll get to this one. Craig is busy installing security cameras at my daughter's all-girls school, says Don Fried Chicken for $4.99. Mentioned something about making sure the locker rooms are safe.
I like that even in Craig's deviancy, he's not gay, you know? I like that. Even even at his most sinister, he's not some homo.
Wait a second. Maybe that's what he's hiding, and he's using these other things. It's worse to be what you think you are. We think you are, Craig. Not the gay thing. Come out as gay. Okay. Cameo blind.
I'm with
Michael
Craig
Dollar.
now, by the way, 100%. Craig was right.
I gotta say, we gotta say, what an actor, though. By the way, because if that is his true asshole nature, he was so nice for so long. Oh, that must have been hard.
But I don't even know. Like, it seemed like he's. Oh, so I didn't give anyone the behind the scenes here. I asked him if he wanted to come on. This is part of Craig's anger. I asked him if he wanted to come on, and he was like, no. And I said, can I ask why? And he goes, because I was surprised by that. And he goes, if I can be honest, I was a little annoyed that you never called me. And I was like, I don't really know what that means. But I was like, if that really bothered you, I apologize. So I apologized to him over text. He didn't mention that, I noticed. But I said, if that really bothered you, I apologize. But you can come on and criticize me about whatever you want. So again, like I'm inviting him on and giving him carte blanche. Say whatever you want about me. And there's just a thing. I don't know. I think he just doesn't like me as a guy, I guess it seems.
I think he likes you a lot. And I think that it hurts.
I did not get that sense at any point. I always felt like the character, like, was making fun of me in some way. Like when he would talk about me, I was like, oh, like this guy doesn't actually like me, which I still kind of found funny. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like I think he's a guy that for some reason never liked me and thought he was fucking me with it. Even the thing he said, remember at the beginning of this interaction, he's like, I don't like being messed with by a disabled person, which I didn't really get what that meant. I think there's a weird thing where he never liked me and he was always kind of fucking with me and he had nowhere else to go with it, so he was just like, "Oh yeah, I don't like you today."
I think he liked you, but I think that he.
I never got that sense.
Yeah, no, I get it because it's a character, so you never see authentic, right? You never feel authentic coming back at you. But I can tell just because I've been around this guy. He was a fan, and it hurts when you want something more and it doesn't sort of happen.
I think you're thinking too deep about it. I gave him the YouTube channel.
You did, but you didn't hold his hand while you did it, Mike, and it's what you want.
But I offered. Now I have to go back and look at the messages. I offered him whatever. I was like, if you want to do a show with me, without me, whatever, let me know. I gave him ideas, and he didn't like them, which is totally fine. But like, to say I didn't collaborate with him just isn't true. I gave him idea. I said there was an idea that I had that I originally wanted to do with Carl before we started. Who Are These Socials? And I thought David actually would have been perfect for it. And I told him this idea. It was essentially a parody of a morning radio show to the point which David was already doing, like a parody of a morning radio show. But this was like a legitimate, like straight parody where like they would pick a local town, like a small town, and follow their local news and get really invested in like their politics and stuff like that. Almost like a Fernwood Tonight kind of a thing, but more of a radio angle to it. And by the way, I don't know if it's a good idea at all. And he didn't like it, which is totally fine. But like I gave him that idea and said, do that if you want. And so to say I didn't collaborate is just false. Like I gave him ideas. I said I would be involved with it. I don't know what he wanted from me exactly.
Chat's like, never doubt Craig again is kind of the consensus.
That's
going
true.
on
I'm
here.
gonna. You know what, guys? I think that's good advice, and I'm gonna start doing everything Craig does. So
No, don't do that. But you might have to re-examine your Bill Burr takes. That is also in the chat.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was wrong. Well, I already did, by the way. We'll talk about that with Shane Gillis, but I already did re-examine some of my Bill Burr takes.
Thank you, Box Eating Dad. That is very kind of you.
Thank
Cameo
you.
Blind Bike, $1.99. Forrest, worse than finding out Santa is fake. I know, right? That was a rough morning for me.
It was tough. It was tough.
Colostomy Stephen Cunt.
It would kind of be
$9.99.
like finding out Santa existed and always kind of like look down his nose at you.
Yeah, like pissed in your presence.
He was just very dismissive of you and never really liked you, just quietly.
Didn't like the cookies, ate them anyway, just out of spite. Fucking Santa. A colostomy Stephen Cunt, $9.99. He didn't see it coming. Tisk, tisk, fuck yeah.
That's
think
good
that's
stuff. Home run, Chippa.
We got principled uncertainty here with 5 pounds. I think that is. Is Mike about to rip off his glasses and go aha? I think like climb
never
through the
blind.
screen. Oh, God damn it, Box Eating Dad. Nothing. May or may not have doxed.
Okay, well, yeah, don't put that.
Oh
no, he gave his last name.
Yeah. Yes, he did. So, and he said Galena, Illinois. So he did give those away.
Yeah.
Principled uncertainty, 5 pounds. Casey, maybe hold off on telling Mike the truth about Hack. See, that's I said about HACKRIDE.
No,
Craig's
they're
got
different guys. I was lying before. They are
guys,
different guys.
I got some news for you. You on the toilet? Guy named Marv just likes to get shit on. Yes. So all everything, fourth walls are breaking down everywhere. A few more.
Well, he didn't seem playful at all about it. Was the thing?
No, not
like there was no. It's fine to think we're idiots and look down at what we do. Like the idea that I'm talking more stuttering John now than I was a year ago is it's just not true.
That was hurtful on the way out to
It really was hurtful. No, but I mean, it's just not true. We've talked about him twice this month, and before that, hadn't talked about him in 6 months, probably. Right?
Did you see what he did yesterday?
Stuttering John?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you. No. We're giving him what he wants, Casey. We'll talk after.
Okay. All right.
But you know what I mean? Like it's just not true to say that we talk more about him now than we did a year ago. It's inaccurate.
It is absolutely inaccurate. Trust me, I push for it. Suburban Tug Time, $5. At least the David Collins persona was interesting. Yikes. That's the sort of the consensus is people were like, why are you so mad at Mike? What did Mike do?
I didn't get it. I don't know. I'm hurt by these things. I liked OJ. I liked David Collins. You know, I get hurt by these things. I liked the Aussie guy who then went on WATP for 20 minutes and was like, Mike's a dick. And I'm like, I'm always fascinated. Maybe it makes me look worse when I try to investigate them. But I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get what you're upset with. Like, I think if you brought something to me, like if you said the messages you referred to earlier, if you were like, hey, I sent something, I put a lot of thought into it, and you didn't respond, I would go, oh, I'm sorry about that. You know what I mean? Like, that makes sense to me. David being pissed at me doesn't make any sense.
I recently go, hey, Mike likes music. I'm going to send him some songs. He didn't reply. I go, you know what? I'm going to stop sending Mike songs.
If the Kirk Minahan show did a show in Sacramento for one day, we were in and out one day.
Yeah.
And I didn't invite you to it. Would you be mad at me?
No one goes to Sacramento, Mike, but no, I would not.
Like, we were just in the same state. We weren't down the street from him. He said it was like a 2.5 hour drive or something.
He also doesn't understand how you partition your podcast life. Like, I don't even know that other show.
It was not my thing to invite people to.
Right. Like, he doesn't understand how you are about that show. And some show I don't even know. I help you with your show, and I can't even mention that other show. He doesn't understand the partitioning that goes on here. You know?
Can mention it, but I'm just saying, like, don't involve yourself in it like you know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? I know you don't, but I'm saying, like, David seems to he's like, well, I know people that like that show. It's like, well, then they could come to the thing. I don't know. What I didn't tell them they weren't allowed to. David was there. That's the crazy thing. Is like he was there. And he's mad at me for not being able to go to it.
Well, I can't wait to see what round 2 has in store now that the first throws have been thrown. Oh, let's see how David responds. See how we respond.
That's about it.
He's done. You're done.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
about it. Yeah.
You parachute out. I like that about you.
Yeah,
Okay, let's move
that's
on.
about the end of that. I'm sure he'll do a thing where he says something nasty about me on his show or something. I won't hear it, and that'll be the end of it to me. You know, go watch it if you want. Like I said, I think he's a funny guy. I thought David Collins was a funny character. So go watch whatever his show is. He seemed annoyed at me when I was letting him promote it, but go check it out, I guess. And I don't know. It was weird. That's the end of that, though, I guess.
Whenever you sort of think negatively about it, Mike, just remember that I made him sit and do a show with a toilet for 3 hours.
That doesn't make me feel him.
He was in character, so he was trapped. I trapped him in his fucking character. He couldn't get out of it.
Makes me feel a little better, yeah.
We did it. All right, Mike, what else we got today? Who else are we going to yell at?
Make me feel a little better with my boy Shane Gillis, a man who has never let me down, a man who has just honestly, like, he's so great because he's whatever you want him to be. Like, he allows people to project things onto him that I don't think he represents, but yet he's had the best responses to all these things that come up in his life from SNL on. Like, and that's why I mention his name so often in these terms, is because I think not only is he the person who handled cancel culture the best, but like I think he changed the way things were going. Now, that's not entirely true based on the last couple of weeks, some things we've seen, but he did change the trajectory of how a lot of those things went because he was so undeniably talented that people couldn't just squash his career the way that they attempted to. So Shane Gillis weighed in on the Jimmy Kimmel thing. You guys know I gave a lot of my thoughts on that last week. A lot of people agreed with me. A lot of people disagreed. But this is the other side that I did mention. And I think Shane kind of perfectly encapsulated it. And I got to give the right credit. I know everyone thinks I'm a big lib, but I will give the right credit on this. At least we did not get riots in the streets, you know? It is like they were unhappy and they tried to get Jimmy Kimmel. Kimmel kept his job. There was no bloodshed. They weren't burning down businesses or doing anything. There was no looting that happened because Jimmy Kimmel got his job back. So I will say that in their favor. And Shane makes another good point when it comes to the crowd that was defending Jimmy Kimmel.
It's funny, but everyone's back, dude. You can't, free speech, comedians rule. We are the vanguards of truth.
Finally,
Yeah,
the
fallen
philosophers are fucking.
Yeah.
Dude, the second the government starts censoring us, fascism is right around the corner. No, it was good though. It was good to see everybody stick up for him for free speech, and I'm just glad they were all there for me back in 2019. He's my brother and being canceled now. He was canceled for what was that, 48 hours? Yeah. Mine was a couple years, but no big deal. What's the difference?
He had to hold tight. He had to hold tight in probably a very nice kind of modern house on the hills in LA. He had to sit there and just.
You mean he didn't have to lay on a mattress in Queens with two snarky roommates that were like, "Oh, did you write that apology?" Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah, that's another reason Shane is the best example of someone that has been canceled. Is he was canceled before he had a career. Like, he was canceled when no one really... People found out his name and were like, oh, I guess that's a racist guy because Anthony Jeselnik told me so, Like, people had this opinion of him before they knew who he was, and he was able to overcome that, which has always been very impressive to me.
What the fuck?
Crybaby Kimmel.
It's nice.
Crybaby Kimmel is my new G.
Crybaby Kimmel.
I do like how he was. I saw a snippet. And he was being very
liked
nice.
what he was saying.
He was being
It was
nice.
nice, yeah.
We need
Did you hear
unification.
that? When he called Rogan a moderate, and one lady in the crowd thought that was a joke. She was like, "Ha!" You can hear it. You're like, "Oh, you got that wrong, bitch."
That was.
they
Did
don't-
you
they
watch?
can't be-
Did you watch Kimmel's apology or whatever you call it? His monologue, Casey.
I did.
That was. I noticed the air gets sucked out of the room. I think that was like the closest we'll ever get Kimmel to give a nod to the other side and be like, "Hey, I appreciate people sticking up for me." Because he called Joe Rogan a moderate, and it got like a slight laugh in the room. You could hear how uncomfortable that audience was with him calling Rogan a moderate, because they all want Rogan to be like this right-wing guy so badly. And Rogan's done a lot of things in the last year that would, make that a valid opinion. But like, I still think at the end of the day, Rogan is somewhat moderate and level-headed. And that sucked the air out of the room. That audience didn't know what to do. The clapping monkeys that will do whatever Kimmel says had no fucking idea how to react to that when he was like, yeah, people in the middle like Joe Rogan.
No one else around you laughed. It was you being a nasty lib.
Yeah, she can't be nasty. No one can be nasty now. We got to knock it off.
Try not to be nasty.
I'm never nasty.
Sean Gardini. Yeah, so I liked Shane's opinion on that, and that is the other side. Ultimately, I have seen people give me shit for being like, "Oh, you overreacted." I don't agree with that. I think when ABC pulls someone indefinitely, that usually doesn't mean Jimmy Kimmel's gonna have a long weekend and he'll be back on Tuesday. That's not usually what that means. And the FCC was weighing in, so I don't think you could find anything I don't stand by. You can't find anything that said on that I don't stand by. You can't find any text I don't stand by. So I did like Shane's response, though, because that is the other side of that, where like the liberals were just as ridiculous as the conservatives on this, because they were all literally saying, and this was my point, not that, I barely have an audience now. I certainly didn't in 2016. So not that my words mean anything, but the idea that like if I talked about Roseanne or Shane or any of these other instances, the responses I would get or the responses I would see like out in the world, in the media, whatever, it was copy-paste to what the right was saying. And when I saw Dave Portnoy say, hey, there's consequences for words. Words have consequences, freedom of speech. He's not in jail. When I saw a guy like Portnoy saying that, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Where literally it's just you're following whatever your politics force you to follow instead of what you believed. And Shane is a rare guy that I think always kind of follows what he believes, because I don't know why this made news this week. I think it was actually in Mark Maron's special, the joke he made, where Maron actually had a funny joke about this Riyadh Comedy Festival. He goes, how are they promoting it? From the people that brought you 9/11, which I thought was pretty funny. But for some reason, that was a story this week. I know the Zach Woods video, I think, was older too. But people were reporting it, and you know how the media is so accurate with everything. They're like, Mark Maron and Shane Gillis slam their fellow comedians. That's not exactly what Shane did, but this is Shane talking about the offer he got from the Riyadh Comedy Festival.
I should have taken it. I got to take the Saudi Arabia deal. I should have taken it. I'm washed.
So I do get the fact that they perpetrated 9/11.
I'm not doing it.
That is good. I admire that.
Then they doubled the bag, and I was like,
They doubled the bag, the princes?
It was a significant bag.
What?
But I'd already said no. I took a principled stand.
Yeah, against Saudi Arabia.
It wasn't even that. I didn't even think about it.
I thought we were allies with Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, we are. We give them a ton of.
So why the hell did they do 9/11 to us?
Wasn't it Osama bin Laden just from Saudi Arabia?
Every single hijacker, basically.
Yeah.
Saudi.
Yeah, you don't 9/11 your friends, bro.
Don't 9/11 your friends.
You don't.
And go over and go, hey, guys.
It's not true.
Talk about. I was in 7th grade when you guys did that. It was nuts.
But that is like, so again, the headlines are when they're like, Shane Gillis slams his fellow comedians. That didn't really happen. Like, Shane has this ability to allow other people to project their politics on him. Like, people that are mad at this Riyadh Comedy Festival can be like, hey, he stands with us. People that love Trump can be like, hey, he stands with us. People that hate Trump can be like, hey, he stands with us. It's an ability that Louis had years ago, where like, you're able to project whatever you believe onto him and be like, oh, that's what he's saying. I think Carlin had that ability too, where you're like, oh, he believes in what I believe because of this thing he said. Where it's like, no, it's a joke that he made, that you are kind of twisting your perception of it to fit your argument. But Shane just basically said, yeah, I turned it down, and that's really it. He didn't pass judgment on it or anything. I will say the Burr thing, Crack Amico put out a good song this week, diss tracked all the comedians at the Riyadh Comedy Festival. And one of the lines, I forget, I'm not going to rap it for you. But
oh, please do every line.
One of the lines he had about Burr was basically saying that he hates U.S. millionaires and loves Saudi billionaires, which is such a good point. I was like, yeah, you know what? Fuck him. Like, it finally kind of turned me. If Craig could have put it into lyrical form like that, I think he would have convinced me. Because that was the moment I was like, yeah, he talks about these millionaires and how they're ruining the world and everything. And if someone from Saudi Arabia offers him enough money, he's like, I'll tell a few yucks. I'll go over there. So good for Shane for seemingly being the only person in comedy that was like, nah, I'm good. You know, the skirt actually made a great point, and I think the reason, like, I respect Shane Gillis so much more than a lot of these other people is, she goes, you know, Mark Maron probably wasn't offered that gig. She's like, good for Shane for actually turning it down. Like, Maron can bitch about it all he wants, but if they offered Maron $2 million, I don't know if Maron's turning it down, you know? And I imagine if you're basing it on Tim Dillon getting $375K and them doubling Shane's offer, I would think he's well into 7 figures.
Yeah, easy.
Whatever he turned down, I would imagine is well into 7 figures. So good for Shane for having principles and not preaching them. That's the thing. Is like my takeaway is he did that, which is great, and also those headlines want to make him out to be this guy who stomped his foot down and said, "No, the comedian should follow my lead." And it's like, no, he didn't do that either. You know, like he didn't wag his finger at anyone. He just said what he did, and you know, no one needed to follow that, and that was good enough for him.
He just turned down for what for everyone else would be life-changing money.
Yeah.
Stared at the camera like the...
What I'm amazed by with a lot of those guys, and we talked about it with Tim Dillon too, it's like, you know, if you're Bill Burr and they offer you $4 or $5 million, which is, I'm guessing what Burr got, maybe 10? Like Chappelle, the number I've seen is 10 million. Those guys would make that up pretty quickly with a few tour dates. You know what I mean? I get it's one day, all expenses paid, you're traveling in style, all of that. But like those guys could do that anyways, and they would make up that money in a few weeks. Like it's not, for them it is not life-changing money.
No.
You know, even for Tim Dillon, it's not really, you know, like Jessica Kirson, maybe. Some of those other people. But
how does a Saudi prince get a Blind Mike Project live show? What is the dollar amount to get Blind Mike over to Saudi Arabia?
What did Stuttering John just request? Oh no, it was Steel Toe. Steel Toe said he'll do blackface for $2,000.
Seriously?
Yeah. So if Steel Toe does, if they get Steel Toe to do that, I'll go.
You heard it here, guys. Oh my God, we have a plan.
Yeah, that's the deal. Yeah.
Imagine the course of events. It happens. He goes blackface. Mike goes to Saudi Arabia. Whoa, what a turn of events.
Craig would fit right in over there. I think he would do very well.
It's not gonna be good for his freckles. That sun and his freckles are not a match. We got a few super chats here.
All right.
Saucepan $1.99. I'm all set with David Collins. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that I agree. That was about it.
And one day you will hear that about me. Don Fried Chicken.
No,
$9.99.
I have. That's not true. I have a great deal of appreciation for what Casey Day has done. Unless you turn your back on me,
I would never. I would never.
But like, I don't know. Casey Day doesn't need me. You'll ask if you want me to come on your show or something. You'll ask me. There doesn't have to be some vague, like, oh, we didn't collaborate. Collaborating is more than. I gotta be honest. If pick a name, if a show bigger than mine, pick whoever you want. If they were like, hey, let's collaborate, and what that meant to them was, I'm going to give you my channel, do whatever you want, promote yourself, do whatever you want. I would much prefer that to doing an episode of their show. You know what I mean? I would think that is much nicer to let me do my show on their platform rather than have me as a guest. I think of that as much more appreciative collaboration, but also if he didn't see it that way, he could have told me. I don't know.
Well, I think he was doing a character, and it would have been too long of a like. There's another world where he does this, stays on your channel. You eventually like his show grows, becomes better. He becomes better, and over time, you have ideas together and develop shows. Like it didn't have to all happen at once, right? You gave him a line, say, hey, here, take some time.
I texted him, and he saw these as insults, but I texted him feedback on his first few episodes. I didn't necessarily get what they were doing, but I texted him, like, certain things I thought could be better or certain things, whatever, and that's collaboration.
That is. I've never got one of those for Catch-22.
He was not receptive to it, so I stopped doing that. Like, I don't know. That bugged me, because I thought I was good to that guy, whoever he is. And that it does bug me. It's still in my head.
I gotta say, much nicer in text than he came off this morning. He did text me and he said, Please extend my apologies to Mike. I didn't realize he was so invested in the whole thing. So,
invested in what whole thing?
I don't. That second line kind of took away from the apology a little bit, but it does seem like he's a little contrite.
So that's what I mean. Like, was this a character? Like, it was a.
This seems more like a character.
We were supposed to fight today, and that was a bit or something.
It's you got to send us the memo. You should not send us the memo on these characters, and we look stupid.
He's a regular Andy Kaufman.
He is. All right, £5 from Principal Uncertainty. Hey, Mike. Oh, hey, Mike has every right to be a communist. You be you, Mike.
Communist?
Yes, you're a lib now.
Oh, these are about my liberal views. Sorry.
Yes. Don Fried Chicken, $9.99. Typical of lib cuck Mike to not realize that his leftist attitude in betraying MAGA is why honest patriots like OJ, Aussie Guy, and David Collins don't care for him.
That's fair. You know what? That's a good point. I never thought of it that way.
I always knew oranges were libs or MAGA. What?
Oh, vice versa.
Yeah.
I'm the lib.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Flatbush Tommy, $5. Comedy World is not going to be able to handle the first time Shane does something unlikable. Almost nervous because of how long of a streak the king is on.
I know. And that's what they love to do. Him and Bargatze, I worry about because it's like they haven't made a misstep yet, which means much like Louis, like the fall will be that much greater. So I hope Shane is able to avoid that somehow. It's very rare, but Bruce did it.
If it ever happens, he's really going to look at that Saudi paycheck and be like, what did I say? No, goddamn. Dope Lunchbox, $10. I just got here, but I have sent content to Mike on Patreon or messages hoping to get a back and forth going, and it felt dismissed. Maybe David felt... Maybe... I got left on red, too. I'm still here. Maybe David felt dismissed too many times. I almost drowned myself. No, don't do that. Don't
Lunchbox. I'm sorry. I'm going to look for your messages. I'm going to respond. I'm sorry, sir. I'm going to take these more seriously.
This is, Mike, it's like being a hot chick. You don't know the damage you do just existing. Like, you give men fantasies.
I'm also sometimes I think there's messages I get that don't necessarily need a response. Like, if you send me a link, maybe like I'll thumbs up it or something, but I don't necessarily think that needs a response,
Thumbs up's like a paragraph.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Like, oh my God, I got a thumbs up today. What'd I do right?
I won't beat myself too much on that. I think I'm pretty good at responding to people.
No, Mick Eld, Sec 20, whatever the hell that is. First Mike drives away Electra, and now David. No, and that's not true. That's not true. David drove himself away, and Electra
might be protecting me.
That's all. And one more here that just came in under the wire. DJ Electrify, $2. Hey, Mike didn't drive me away. Atta girl.
That feels like Casey Day puppeteering.
I didn't. I have not talked to her this morning. She ignored me all day yesterday because she was sick. All right, we got one more here. H.E. Pennypacker, $5. Go Ducks! I've been falling asleep to Steel Toe and stuttering John reaction videos. Thank you for the content, Mike and company.
Well,
thank you, H.E. Pennypacker.
Those are very new. That's the direction my channel has taken in the last few months.
So I heard.
They're all very new. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, Mike. Speaking of people, Chris D'Elia.
Oh, we're doing D'Elia next. Let's hold off on D'Elia. Let's save that.
Yeah, what do you want?
Let's get rid of some of these littler subjects. Yeah, let's do the Norman Will Smith roast clip. Just I wanted to talk about that for just a second. So this is Mark Norman talking to Akash Singh. I think Andrew Schultz was out on this episode, but they're talking about the Tom Brady roast and who might be next in line for that. That I actually think is a genius idea if Netflix can pull this off.
Awesome.
They're toying with a new roast because the Tom Brady one did well, and Will Smith is one of the ideas they're throwing out there, which I think would redeem him.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're the guy who couldn't take a joke. Now let's take a
that would be
jokes.
good. And comics would go extra hard.
Oh, yeah.
It would actually be epic television.
Ooh, it would.
It would be brutal. It would be. We're all good.
Yes,
we're
exactly.
all good.
Yeah.
You sat there, you took all the jokes, you proved that it's okay to get made fun of. People are going to go super hard on your wife, and Will, I think, is desperate enough for fame and acceptance to do it.
I think so, too.
And then it's like, all right, you got your punishment, all good. You're good.
Yeah. It's actually the ultimate way to redeem.
Yeah, that would be... I think it would be good for him. I don't think it saves him because I think most people don't care as much as we care about that whole thing.
Sure,
Not
sure.
nearly as much, obviously. But I think even to the general public, they'll be like, oh, good for him. He did that. Good for him. He took the jokes.
Exactly.
And the jokes would be the best they've ever been.
Be great. Be great. Hey, you did a slave movie. Haven't you had enough backlash? Netflix, hire me.
Off the dome.
I know, that's
That
great.
guy's good, man. He's good.
Jada would get it too, though. She would almost have to sign up as well.
Well, she would say no to him.
Right.
She don't care much about his careers.
I think that would be a genius idea if they can figure that out. And they are right. Will Smith is he's clamoring to get back. Like, have you seen the songs he's making?
I did actually a whole breakdown.
I mean,
on
first
how-
of all, just as a general rule, if you're trying to dispel rumors that maybe you're closeted in some way, you should make a song where the chorus is literally, I like pretty girls. Then everyone will be like, oh, this guy's straight as an arrow. but
case closed.
But yeah, he's like, oh, well, maybe I'll win them back with my music, my hip hop, which was always so good. I mean, parents don't understand from a 55-year-old is really terrific. But like, he's
Summertime's a
desperate-
banger, Mike. I'm not going to let you get away with that. Summertime is a goddamn banger for now.
Right, but now that he's in his 50s, it's not as cute.
Well, summers are getting less and less. He has fewer summers, is what I'm saying.
But yeah, I think that would be a great one. Like, to have Chris Rock obviously would have to come out.
That's the end, right? That's the
I
end.
would think.
Yeah.
I would think so. But yeah, that would be a good one. I can't think of any that rival it really. Like when Brady did it, LeBron was the popular name. I can't imagine him being a good sport about it.
I think Will Smith is on board. I think the stumbling block here is going to be that bald lady. She doesn't look like she can take a joke.
But she doesn't need to be there, right? As long as he's not like, no, if he says no Jada jokes, that's
if
crazy.
he wants to see his kids again, he's gonna have to have her agree to that. And you can tell all those comedians that. But do those comedians look like the kind of people that are gonna listen to that once they got Will Smith in a room? Especially,
I mean,
if Chris Rock
it was
is there?
clearly said to them, no Bob Kraft jokes, and Jeff Ross still did it.
Of course.
You know?
Once you say don't do this, everyone in that room is going to look for the angle that they can get where they don't get blamed for doing the thing that they're told not to do.
It was tough to hear Jeff Ross apologize to Brady. I guess you got to do that. You got to be a little diplomatic after you do the joke, you know? When Brady goes, hey, no more of that shit, or whatever he said.
Yeah. I mean, a little pat on the back after you slice the throat, that's okay. That's okay.
It was so disheartening when Brady did that. That after, like a few months later, he's like, yeah, I really regret. I didn't think they were going to go after my wife like that.
Again, that's what you say. He
just sold him out.
Yeah.
He did do it.
Yeah.
So you got to give him credit for that. But yeah, Will Smith is the best now. I don't know. Leave in the comments, folks. Who else do you think would be good? Because they already did Alec Baldwin. He would have been great. But a post-shooting Baldwin roast could also be fun.
I'll tell you a little smaller one, Steel Toe. The roast of Steel Toe from all these communities.
I don't know if that's getting on Netflix, but yeah. You know what? David Collins was right about us.
Probably. All right, Mike. Where would you like to go to next?
You want to talk about this Tyler Fischer, Joe Rogan thing?
Sure. Never heard of the guy
I don't
until
know.
this.
I don't know how to take this. Oh, you don't know Tyler Fischer?
I do not.
He's, I believe he's the star of Lady Ballers.
What is that?
It's the Daily Wire made a movie.
Oh.
It was like kind of 90s comedy. It's like this guy realizes like all the trans stuff that's happening in sports and things like that. It's a big controversy. So he says he is is transitioning to a woman and dominates female basketball. A fun 90s type premise, you know?
Okay.
So I believe Tyler Fischer is in that movie. And Tyler Fischer is, I don't know a lot of his comedy. I've seen him on like Kill Tony and stuff like that, but maybe his stand-up is great. I just know he is mentioned, the context I hear his name mentioned in a lot are guys that saw dollar signs when it came to like being canceled and kind of changing your politics based on that. Like he realized there was value in railing against cancel culture and stuff like that. And by all accounts, from what I've heard from comedians talking on podcasts and stuff, he wasn't necessarily like that before. I don't know how true that is. That's just always like the rumor I've heard about Tyler Fischer. But he's claiming, and this is after there was an incident at Fox News. He was a regular on Greg Gutfeld's show, and the kibosh was kind of put on that because of an incident with a woman, basically. There are no like real specifics on that, but there are rumors of sexual misconduct. And then that comes up again at the Comedy Mothership, and Tyler Fischer has made a real stink about this. So he went on a podcast to expose Joe Rogan's Comedy Club.
Do you go to the Mothership? Do you go to Rogan's place every now and again?
I was banned.
Go ahead and explain what the F?
I think this was, hold on. I didn't realize what an edgy show he was on. What the F? I think this was pre-planned. This is, I mean, Casey, I don't know if you have the timestamp in front of you. 30 seconds into this interview?
Yes. Exactly.
So, I don't know why would this guy start with, you go to the, what's it called? Is it the Mothership? Is that you go to Joe Rogan's club? Who starts an interview that way? I think it may have been whispered. I think Tyler Fischer may have said, you might want to ask me about this Joe Rogan stuff. But I'm wildly speculating.
Starting with Joe Rogan's not a bad place to start, Mike. You lock the fans in early, you know?
Yeah.
And this guy's name is Viva Frei, I guess. Viva Frei.
Is that the podcast that he's on? Viva Frei?
Yeah, they banned me from the. I'm kicked out of that club. There's it's the woke mind virus. There's no other way to say it. And by the way, I wasn't planning on saying that, but I have to do a whole nother video, and I have far more evidence that this was a political hit job.
I'm glad someone's finally saying it, because I always think that when Tony Hinchcliffe got a bunch of shit for the Puerto Rico joke at a Trump rally, and then was at the Comedy Mothership that Monday, I was like, oh God, these woke cucks. Oh, these liberals that are broken. They're just suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. Why would they allow Tony Hinchcliffe back in their club? Why would the first acts there be Shane Gillis and Dave Chappelle? Like, it does seem a little crazy. Like, if you look at the people that pop on Kill Tony, Rob Schneider was just there. Tucker Carlson has been on. Like, I don't know that this is the wokest club in America. In fact, Rogan has had to kind of fight the idea that it's like an anti-woke. The labeling of it has been Joe Rogan's anti-woke comedy club. And Rogan has had to be like, I mean, that's not exactly true. Like, there are all kinds of acts there. So it's weird. We talked about people shitting on Austin and talking about the Austin comedy scene. Like, it's this group of like MAGA supporters. And it's not that. And now Tyler Fischer is trying to be like, no, it's actually really woke because they don't want me there.
How do you get banned from? They have to let you know that you're not welcome there?
Not only banned, a cease and desist order.
From the Mothership, from Rogan's Mothership.
This guy's outraged. He knows none of the facts. He's already outraged.
How do you get
Joe
banned
Rogan's I'm sorry, do you mean another mothership? Because that can't be right. This guy's flabbergasted.
They have to let you know that you're not welcome there?
Not only banned, a cease and desist order.
From the Mothership, from Rogan's Mothership.
I'm connecting this to Gutfeld in some way, shape, or form because it happened soon after.
Another one of those woke pussies, Greg Gutfeld.
What? Am I in the reverse world? What's happening here?
That beta bitch, Greg Gutfeld, who licks the heels of Kamala Harris. You know how he is.
Point. This stuff will destroy somebody's life.
So, listen, I don't know what Tyler Fischer did, and I'm known for being a voice for the voiceless. I defend the innocent when the time comes. So if there's evidence that Tyler Fischer got fucking railroaded here, I'll talk about it when that comes out. It does seem a little suspect to me that his first defense is, well, this is more that woke mind virus from guys like Joe Rogan and Greg Gutfeld. You know, those liberal pansies just can't take it. I'm too edgy for them. They want to silence me because, I am too far right for them. They don't like me.
Don't get me started on that libtard Alex Jones. Ugh.
Right. Yes. Yeah, if this guy gets banned from InfoWars, I'm going to start to think he's the problem.
Yeah. That LGBTIA Nick Fuentes guy.
Yeah.
This is called What Happened?
Yes. Yeah, what did happen, Tyler? Explain it to us.
First of all, 95 to 98% of the entertainment business is leftist, and moving farther left by the day. So sure, Rogan can open a club. It's great. It was a matter of time. Wokeism has seeped into
3 years is the time, apparently. It takes 3 years for those succubus leftists to seep in there.
It's the 1,000-day rule, Mike. Then 1,000 days, then they come in.
The club. The manager of the club, this is the key point. The manager is a far leftist.
Is he talking about Adam Egget? I couldn't figure that out. I don't know if he means Adam Egget or I don't know Adam Eget's actual position there. I know he's the booker, but I don't know the hierarchy there. I do find it hard to believe that the manager of Joe Rogan's comedy mothership is some blue-haired Hillary Clinton loving. Yeah, like they're still banging the drum of Kamala. You know what I mean? Like it's an AOC supporter. I find that hard to believe if it's some non-binary transracial humanist that is like, let me look at the classified section here. Oh, the mothership has a job opening. Let me try that.
You guys are still mask official, right? I can still wear my mask at the mothership. Oh yeah.
Of his comedy club.
I'm retiring from my position with Antifa to work for Joe Rogan. It seems unlikely.
Joe opened the club. He doesn't run the club.
It's true.
He's not there watching over everybody.
He is there. I've seen him. I've seen pictures. He's been there, and he tells stories about being there. So I would think if some nut job liberal took over and was running rampant and banning Tim Dillon and Shane Gillis and Tony Hinchcliffe, Joe would catch wind of it at least.
You'd probably hear about that one.
The manager is far left. And a comedian came up to me almost violently, and he said, I just found out this guy is like pro-forced vaccine, pro-masking, like violently anti-Trump, anti-Elon Musk. Well, you know my comedy, right?
Violently anti-Trump. What did he do when Joe had Trump on the show? What did this nut job do? Because I've heard things about Joe Rogan's fighting capabilities. I hope this guy didn't get too violent. He's violently anti-Trump, this manager. Boy, he has got... I've watched some episodes of Kill Tony. I've seen some of the comedy specials that have been filmed at the mothership. This guy's got to be up in arms if he realizes what's going on. He's not doing a very good job of being a, what was it? Pro-vax, pro-mask, violent liberal?
Yeah, one of yours, Mike. One of yours.
One of my people. That's good news, because I've always liked the idea of working at a comedy club. Maybe I got to fly down to Austin now that I know that us liberal loons are allowed there.
He said this guy is going to try to get rid of people who he doesn't agree with politically. And I was like, that's insane.
I'm starting with Tyler Fischer. I'm starting all the way at the top. Yeah. Cut off the head of the snake. That's what I say. Go with Tyler Fischer. His RFK impression is too dangerous.
Well, cut to, I don't know, a week or two later. Have you heard of the app called T? Did you see that whole scandal?
No.
There's an app called T, and it's for women who go on dates with...
I do know what you're saying. Yeah, I've heard about that. Sorry, go ahead.
Why are you lying?
Right.
He said no.
So the purpose of the app is to go, I went on a date with Viva. He touched my shoulder. He's a rapist. Then they put your photo up there, your name, everything. Okay. By the way, the profiles of all those women were leaked, by the way. And it's, as you can imagine, unattractive, out of shape leftists. So a comedian.
Yep, that sums up Joe Rogan. Out of shape leftist. When I think Joe Rogan.
Post about me on there. A fake post. Nothing even criminal. just said that I hit on women at the comedy club. I hit on women.
That's not so
You
bad.
remember you saw me do stand up?
Yeah. You
remember
talk,
after
talk
the
with
show, I
crowd
stand
afterwards.
outside.
Remember how wet all the women were?
Follow me on Instagram. I take photos, all that. So she turns that into me being a predator, a female predator. Okay. They did some research on this girl. She was kicked out of the New York City comedy scene for falsely accusing a comedian of raping her.
Oh, okay. Are you following this? This is a little tough to follow, I feel like.
I'm following it. He's a jerk.
Well, if this is a lady falsely accusing him, of course it shouldn't ruin his life. Like, that goes without saying. What I'm a little confused by is, like, all she accused me of was hitting on her, and now I'm banned from a network and a comedy club. Like, the most prominent right-wing network and the most prominent comedy club in the country. I'm banned from both because a lady said I hit on her? I'm a little confused by it.
Like, there's something more to this story, right? Like,
There has to be. That's the thing is, like, I'm you heard me talk about Louis C.K. this week. I'm open to defending these people. But, like, you got to give me a little more than this. There's something missing from this story.
Craig always gives you that little bit of plausible deniability, and you're like, thank
Exactly.
you, buddy. Something to hang on to, a ledge to hang on to here. Thank you.
So Rogan finds this out. I call him. I go, dude, this is insane. I have a 45-minute HR conversation from the woke manager of the comedy club on tape. I've protected myself just like I did for my discrimination case.
He seems to be he loves litigation, it seems, which always makes me question guys like this.
He's the comedy delete laws. He's just face first into the bus.
He's looking for lawsuits. He's this tough guy, but he's like, well, just like my discrimination case, I've got the evidence I need to bring this one to court.
Was clued in that he was going to try to fire me. So I protected myself by recording the call, and thank God I did. Because what is on, you wouldn't believe what's on there. He wouldn't tell me what I did wrong. He wanted me to give a false confession.
Let me just ask for detail. That's the manager.
I can't
on the
imagine
call?
that's the quote. I'd love to hear it if that's the quote. All right, Tyler, just give a false confession, and then we can all be on with our day. Come on, fess up to something you didn't do.
You did something as a kid, right? You stole a bike, or you pulled a girl's hair. Just something. Give us anything.
You're a creative guy. Have some fun with it. You just make sure it's false and give it to me pronto. Have it on my desk by EOD.
We're gonna need an apology for that mustache as well, Tyler. Thank you.
Call. Rogan is not on this call.
No, he didn't even know this was going on.
He said Rogan at first. I think he just fucked up. He said Rogan called him, but I think he just fucked up.
Separate from this. So on the call, this guy says, "You're aware that this T app, you're a problem. You understand you're a problem with women." And I said, "You're telling me an anonymous post on an app meant to destroy women?" He said, "This is going to hurt Joe Rogan. He's going to
the app is meant to destroy women.
Hurt the reputation."
No, I'll tell you what the app is, but we got the joke of the day for Principal Uncertainty 5. He's delete laughs.
Okay, that's fun.
That's good. So what this T thing was, so these women would go on dates with men, and then they'd have bad experiences, and they wanted a place where they could share that. Awful, horrible thing to do, but then they would identify these men, so they would say, hey, this guy, Tyler Fischer, he gets really, touchy. He doesn't have money, doesn't buy you drinks. And so there'd be all these things listed.
Yeah, it seems shitty.
Yeah, and then it came out, all their user data came out, right? So the women that were posting these, and a lot of the pictures of the women were not flattering. And so the guys that were getting hoisted by their own shitty attitudes now could post pictures of the unpretty ladies and be like, why would I be nice to this pig? And so it's all gross all the way around.
Yeah. Well, so the reason I say something has to be missing here is he talks about Rogan in a minute. It doesn't feel like a thing Rogan would involve himself in unless there's something missing from this story. It seems like such a petty thing. If it's just someone on a dating app said I was too handsy or something, and Rogan would not involve himself in this, which is why I think so. Nor would Fox News, by the way, I don't think. Well, I mean, Fox News might have a quick trigger with that stuff now, given what's happened. But like between Gutfeld and Rogan, I don't think these people are overreacting to minor things the way Tyler's describing it. That's my only where I'm getting a weird vibe here.
I've known him for 3 minutes, and I know he has a previous case going on.
Yeah,
that he that he was on the T app. Apparently, millions of women hated this guy. So yeah,
if you're like this, like, you know, say whatever you want about me, right wing guy, and you're like, well, it's like my previous discrimination lawsuit.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I feel like this guy might be a bit of a phony, you know?
Right. And Joe Rogan's not like a wilting lily when it comes to sexual harassing comedians. Hi, Brendan Schaub. I'll have you on anytime.
Right. Callan is in the mothership now.
Yes. So there's something else going on here.
Reputation of the club. So when you don't do something wrong, you're usually you're calm. You're probably a little angry. And so every time I explained to him that this was false, he got angrier and angrier, refused to tell me what I did wrong. So here's what I did. I sent an email to him and the comedy booker who was on the show. I said, guys, here's what we talked about on the email. You told me this anonymous T-app post is going to destroy my reputation, your reputation, Joe's reputation. I've hired a lawyer to find out who posted it to get it removed. I didn't threaten to sue Joe. I didn't threaten to sue the company, anything. His response was, the attorney of the club, we don't have to tell you what you did wrong. We don't have to tell you who complained. And we are giving you a court-ordered cease and desist. You're not allowed in the club, and you're not allowed to reach out to anybody at the club. Just silence.
Things missing.
Yeah,
you know, like given the clientele at the mothership, like I just mentioned, Brian Callen, like given a lot of the names that have been in there, that seems unlikely. Like Dave Smith and Louis J. Gomez and Big J, like people that have had articles written about them, calling them Nazis and all this stuff. It seems a little unlikely that they would react this quickly with Tyler Fischer. It feels like there's something missing. Again, maybe something crazy is going on at the mothership. That's why I wanted to talk about it, because like I could be wrong about this, but it just feels like this guy isn't giving us the full story.
This next one's called Rogan.
Yeah, so this is where I really I furrowed my brow when I heard this. If you're picturing me, listen to this. This is where I went, I'm not so sure that old Joe would be making a phone call. Like Joe Rogan is inserting himself into this based on nothing. That doesn't seem like the Rogan that I know.
The people that run the club, by the way, and this is a setup for disaster, comedians, open mic comedians, are the staff at the club, okay?
That's pretty standard. That's the way the Comedy Store did it too. I think that's kind of it's fairly standard. And by the way, he means, what he's talking about is doormen, the people that open the door for you at the club and like check IDs and stuff. A lot of the times those are open micers, or, you know, the bar back or whatever, like might be an open mic comedian. So Tyler's like, this is just not sustainable. Imagine a comedian refilling the kegs at a comedy club. You can see how much this place is mismanaged. It's like, no, that's pretty standard. He's not saying open micers are the CEO of Joe Rogan Enterprises.
They are the ones that originally painted my interactions with fans as hitting on aggressively. These are comedians who don't get spots. So to them, my guess is we get Tyler out of here. We just opened up. I have free reign of the place. These are woke leftist comedians, non-binary, trans, all of it. It's a
that's all it is, frankly. At the mothership, you just can't escape these non-binary trans comics, like Ari Matty.
Ian Finance, right?
Well, yeah, he's borderline, but yeah.
And so when I called Joe and I said, Joe, this isn't true, and he said, the only reason you're doing this after the shows is for chicks. He wasn't hearing it. Look.
Now,
I love
why
Joe.
is
I
what
really
I'm at?
do.
Why does Joe Rogan taking such a hard stance on this?
Like, I really do. But he made up the decision. I'm not getting involved. You did this. We're not talking about it. Cut it out. And I said, look, that's not what I'm doing, but sure, I won't hit on women, whatever. I said, I'm not going to stop standing outside. I'm not going to stop.
Hey, good for you, Tyler.
Good job.
Good for you.
Congratulations.
I'm going to walk out of this studio and I'm going to stand there for a minute, just to protest this fascist Joe Rogan.
I ain't going to date women. I'm going to stand outside. What a protest.
And the fans, it's how I have a career. I've collected 10,000 emails by hand after the show.
Yeah, you told every.
That sounds a little stocky.
No, but what he's saying is like the Louis C.K. method, where like you would sign up to Louis' mailing list, basically stuff like that. So like he's basically saying that's how he's acquired fans, is some mailing list that he has, I imagine. But you may be right that perhaps the issue is he goes over the line with some of this information that he has. I don't know that, but it seems weird that Rogan, based on nothing, would be like, you do this and you are banned from the club. Like, that doesn't seem like his history, because he set it up to be believable, where he's like, oh yeah, some like liberal manager that he has was involved. But then he said Rogan got involved and was like, no, I believe everything the guy told me and you are banned. And Tyler's response is, well, I think you can control me. I'm still going to go outside. And I say, good for him. Enjoy. It's beautiful weather down there, Tyler, this time of year. Enjoy it. It's starting to cool down.
Maybe Joe Rogan is against fresh air. And Tyler's like, no,
Perhaps.
sir.
Perhaps.
I am going to defy you. I will stand here.
No longer.
You must breathe studio air only. No, sir.
It was to, you told everyone, follow me on Instagram to build your account. It's a. So
right. But again,
this is
think of as a woke feminist. They see a woman stop in front of me. They're going, Tyler stopped on them to hit on them. I said, what about when a woman comes up to me and says, let's go out, let's have a drink, come to my party?
What about when they're batting their eyes at me? What about when some fucking whore is asking for it, huh? What do
Joe
I do
Rogan,
then?
Yeah, Joe Rogan canceling them.
I bet Joe Rogan's not getting on the phone with those sluts, is he?
Yeah. Ruins their comedy career in 1 second.
You're not reasoning with a normal person.
No,
these
we're not.
these bitches stand outside all day, I bet.
Oh my God. Comedy, right? Have you heard any of his stand-up, by the way?
No, you know what? Oddly, a name that's been mentioned today. He does, the first time I ever heard of him, if you search on YouTube, Bill Burr Masterclass, you might have to put in Tyler Fischer, Bill Burr Masterclass. He does a great Bill Burr impression. Like, spot on. And he does, I know he does like RFK. He was on Kill Tony as Jordan Peterson, maybe? Like, he does a pretty good Jordan Peterson. So he does impressions. I don't know what his stand-up is like, to be honest with you. But I think it's a lot of, like, cancel culture stuff, you know? Yeah. If you've seen Rob Schneider's special, it's probably a lot of that.
This guy, like, was peak, during the Obama time. This was, like, the attitude. He's 8 years behind. 6 years behind in this sort of, like, blaming liberal stuff.
Well, but he might have a story to tell. Like, he might have gotten railroaded. I just don't think he's done a good job. He hasn't done a good job at articulating it, whatever it is. He's like, it's all fucking bullshit. And, you know, Gutfeld and Rogan, they run these woke operations, and, you know, and if you think I'm not going to stand outside, you got another thing coming.
All right. This next one's called Emotions.
He was very emotional. He seems like a believable guy.
Open that wound. That's like saying
I almost cried, and the reason I almost cried is because
that's tough. It's tough to be like this anti-cancel culture guy. Like, fuck, these fucking liberals are coming after me, and they're like, "How did you react when Joe Rogan banned you?" I wept openly.
I think this is the Rogan test. He says, you're not allowed here, and if you cry, then he knows you're out of here. Get out of here. You don't belong in comedy.
It's these,
no crying in comedy.
These non-binary freaks that are coming after me. What did you do when you got banned? I got in the fetal position, and I
sucked my thumb.
I lit some candles and had a very emotional bath. and I just thought about some things.
I listened to Enya for 3 days.
I cried.
Sailor ways.
Family member that would do things like this, and it's like, come on, man. Like, I don't need this for chicks. Like, I don't. I can
Wait,
go to
what?
a park.
Hold on, go back.
He doesn't need it for
My family member is the rapist. What does he mean? I had a family member that did this. What is he talking about? Let me hear
Do
that.
things
again.
like this, and it's like
Go back a little more. Sorry.
A little more. Okay. Here we go.
normal person.
Open that wound. That's like saying
I almost cried, and the reason I almost cried is because I had a family member that would do things like this, and it's like
what? Like what? Would hit on girl? See, this is where there's something he's not telling us. He's like, I had a family member that would do things like this. It brought back. I cried. It was a traumatic experience. What? Hit on girls and have those girls lie about him? Because that's all you've told us you did.
This
so there's
interviewer
something
is
missing
worthless, Mike.
there's something missing where he's like, I had a family member that did this, but he hasn't said what this is.
Come on, man. Like, I don't need this for chicks. Like, I don't, I can go to a park or a cafe. I don't,
park.
Is it a symptom of being a celebrity? Yes. But again, this is why men are checking out. You get any level of success, you get any level of attention from women, and it's turned on you. And boy, have I understood that more clearly than I ever have in the last few months. But again, a key point
I don't
here,
know. Again, and there's something to be said for what he's saying. Of course, there are people that, like Aziz is a good example. Aziz got railroaded by someone that just wanted to be part of a movement or wanted attention or something. They were like, "Hey, me too. You want to hear a story?" Aziz and I went on a bad date where I blew him, and I kind of felt weird about it later. And people were like, "What? What are you talking about?" Like there are stories like that exists, and it's fucked up to do to people. I don't think he hasn't told us a story like that yet. Like we haven't gotten that out of him. And also, I don't know if Tyler Fischer is a name that you glom onto for fame. You know?
No.
Like
I don't.
It seems like he's doing well. I think he's a headliner around the country, but I don't think it's like, oh my God, I can take Tyler Fischer down. You know, like that doesn't seem like an opportunity to necessarily pounce on. But again, now I feel really bad if he is being railroaded because he's done such a poor job at presenting it that I think people are going to discount it, you know?
Yeah, maybe don't say, I like to, when I meet ladies, you know where you go? The park. You go harass ladies in the park. Maybe not the best.
When they're out for their morning jogs, you run up behind them and you make a connection.
Only when they got headphones on, that means they want to talk to you.
Yeah, so I run up to this lady, rock in hand, and
now she's my wife.
is that the email I sent to them was saying, guys, can we work together to get this anonymous thing off of the app? And now here is my hypothesis.
Which again, that's fucked up. If there's just some app where some lady's like, yeah, Tyler Fischer was a little weird, and people are taking that to mean he's like a rapist, that is fucked up. And then I feel bad for him. But he hasn't done a great job at articulating if that's the case. Because he keeps referring to something. He's like, my family, I have a family member that did this, and it made me cry thinking about it. Did what? You haven't told us yet, Tyler.
The reason why Louis C.K. came off so genuine is he told you, what I was doing was wrong. This is what I did was what I was doing. It was wrong. And it wasn't
and if you did nothing wrong, you don't have to do that. But but give us something.
That woke manager who was canceling men, banning men, I believe that he was part of this. So think about when you say, hey, can you give me the data?
The conspiracy theory. They're all against him.
That's what I mean. That's what led me to my theory about Tyler Fischer is when everyone's out to get someone, that's a little suspect. You start to wonder why that person thinks that way. Is it everyone else or is it possibly them?
It's just a man that wants to stand outside and breathe free air, Mike, and everyone's trying to hold him down, keep him inside with that shitty air.
Can you give me the facts? And his response is, you're banned for life and you can't even text me anymore by court order.
There's a court involved, Mike.
It just seems like, based on the behavior of some of the comedians, the fact that Joey Diaz has been down there, it seems like that the idea that some snowflake runs Joe Rogan's club and is like, oh, you gave a woman your email, you're banned for life. It just seems unlikely to me. So it's tough. I want to be on this guy's side here, but it's tough.
I've been searching while we've been watching this to find like that specific thing, and all I get is harassing female staff after incident in the New York City studio with the Bill O'Reilly show. So apparently,
Bill O'Reilly,
Gutfeld, you must mean. It might be Gutfeld, yeah.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
I was like, this goes all the way back to O'Reilly. Jesus.
Oh God, have you seen Bill O'Reilly lately? He's like a great grandfather.
I heard a clip of him. He does not sound well. He sounds much older. But.
It's like seeing Stuttering John again after 20 years. Like, what happened to this guy? It's like a stroke or something. But anyway, back to Tyler here. I haven't found what he did specifically. It's just accusations.
That's the thing, is that there is nothing specific, which may, I'm open to it, Tyler, if you can convince me. I'm willing to hear you.
Would you have Tyler on to explain himself better than he did here?
I don't think I'm the guy for that. I'm not well versed enough in the law. I'm not a great interrogator, as we just saw at the beginning of the show. I don't know if I'm that guy.
I was asking for clarity and for more information on what I did wrong. I literally said, if you can point to something I did wrong, I will apologize and I will stop. And the response is, we're gagging you and we're banning you. And if you come on the premises, I assume I'll be arrested.
I assume I'll be arrested. If they didn't gag you, luckily, you're able to talk like this, so that's a good thing. But I don't know what he did for his case. That's the unfortunate part.
There's a lot of missing pieces to this puzzle, Mike.
We'll keep our eye on it, but for now, it seems like he's like, well, if you think you're going to ban me from standing outdoors, you got another thing coming. And they're like, okay, buddy. That's exactly where you can stand, as they shut the door in his face.
Yeah. Mike, you're getting a little off center there. You think you can move the camera?
Am I really?
It's just banging the desk. Okay. The other way.
Yeah. All right.
There you go.
We will. How's that?
Perfect. You're done. Perfect. Fabulous.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Mike, speaking of people.
That's
just my new go-to.
Yeah. It is a great segue.
It's perfect. When I heard it, I'm like, I'm taking that forever.
Speaking of people.
Is Chris D'Elia people? Another man who had some troubles with maybe the ladies that we're still not sure what happened there.
Nothing.
Fog.
Those allegations were so vague with Chris D'Elia. I'm sure nothing happened there. But no, that's not what we're talking about today with Chris D'Elia. I'm more generally curious of our old pal Chris, because we haven't checked in on him in a while. And I said, what is Congratulations up to? Maybe Chris has used his time back to kind of retool and grow as a broadcaster, and it doesn't seem like that's the case. So let's see a few. Congratulations is the same as ever. It's this weird stream of consciousness thing that Chris does that I guess is cute and fun to some people. I do not get it, yet I am fascinated by it, which is why we're playing these clips.
Hard Worker is the first one here.
This is a plague in podcasting now. It's Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura and a lot of these guys have this illness that I would like to rid them of. And I would just like to let all podcasters know, stop talking about how hard you're working. Like, for guys like Bert Kreischer to get on, and by the way, I think Bert Kreischer does work very hard. He's got a lot of irons in the fire. He's constantly moving and creating stuff. Whether you like it or not, you got to acknowledge he's a hard worker. Fine. When you come on and are talking to people, I would say, 90% to be conservative, work regular jobs. Like the people listening to Chris D'Elia's podcast or Bert Kreischer's podcast or whoever, they're generally working regular jobs. A lot of them probably working like labor jobs, and they're listening to these guys to get through the day. Stop telling these people how hard you're working. It's a weird thing. If it comes up conversationally and someone asks you about something you might need free time for, and you're like, I'm just working all day and night, like, that's fine. But this is how Chris starts his show, and it's not just Chris that does this. It is so many podcasters that feel the need to do this. I'm here to say, stop. No one cares about how hard you're working.
But it's 466. I, am back from the road. Dude, I am working really hard. I realize that I'm working very, very hard, and I'm very, very tired. And I do love what I do. So those are all things that are true.
Like this need for comedians to be like, I work hard. And I get it. Like, I always quote the great John Feidelberg. I don't know if he's the first person to say it, but he's the one I quote all the time, who said, when you're podcasting or in content, whatever, you are never working but always working. Like, no one would look at you and be like, oh, this man has had a hard day's work. But you are constantly thinking of things you're trying to create. You're looking for stories to talk about, or you're trying to keep up on the news and stay relevant. Or in Chris's case, like, he is traveling, which can be exhausting and stuff like that. But the average person is not looking at Chris D'Elia going, oh my God, you work so hard. But comedians have this need for acceptance and praise, and they need people to know, like, hey, I am working hard. You might think I get on stage for an hour a night and, give you a few yucks, but it is hard work. The people who appreciate comedy understand and respect that. But, like, you don't need to jam it down our throats. You don't need to tell us all the time. I don't know who it's for.
Next one's called Liars.
Oh, well, I said this segment wasn't about Chris's past, but as always with Chris, some of it is. Because when Chris talks, there's a very thin layer of Chris saying, like, Chris trying to get over his allegations, And Chris it's very subtle. I don't know if you'll be able to pick up on it in this clip, but I think Chris wants to let people know you can't believe everything you read, Sometimes things online are false. And it's subtle here. Tell me if you can pick up on it, but I think Chris is talking about some of the allegations about him.
Cool. And then I was in Tulsa, which was great. So that's that. I was in Tulsa, had a fun show. Tulsa, and people they're unimaginative. And so when I was at the airport, someone was like, "What are you doing? Where are you going?" And I was like, "Oh, Tulsa." And they go, "Psh, sorry." And you don't understand, dude.
Well, hold on.
Tulsa?
First, I don't know that I believe this story. It's not the most important piece. Maybe it's a narrative. He's using this guy as a tool to get there where he's going. I don't know that I believe. Chris gets off the plane. Someone in the airport goes, "Where are you going?" Just a stranger goes, "Where are you going?" And he goes, "Tulsa." And they're like, fucking have fun, dickhead. Yeah, go enjoy it. Boring there. It doesn't seem like a real interaction to me, but I'll play your game, Chris. I'll go along for the ride.
That's a little woke dad story to me.
A little bit. But
hugging a banker.
He didn't dwell on it too much, and he might just be using that as a vehicle to convey this interesting Tulsa theory that he has.
This is nice. It's cool. It's up and coming, and places aren't that bad, dude. There are bad places. But you don't just say a place is bad just because you think it's bad, right? We all don't know anything. We really don't. I mean, if you go to Tulsa, you can experience Tulsa. But it's like we're supposed to know what's going on in the Middle East. We don't know. Everyone lies.
What?
Why would everyone not lie? They have an agenda. They're all going to lie. So don't believe anything you ever hear.
Everyone lies. Tulsa didn't force anyone to do anything they didn't want to do. Tulsa asked for their IDs. It's not Tulsa's fault if they were lying. What the fuck? What is Tulsa supposed to do?
This is like retarded Ellen DeGeneres, the stream of consciousness shit.
So Tulsa, as the girl was crying and Tulsa was forcing her head on his cock, Tulsa said, "Just do what I say and everything's going to be all right." Are we supposed to blame Tulsa for that? And could we even believe that Tulsa would do such a thing? People lie is the point. Tulsa isn't so bad. Tulsa's a father now. No one talks about that, do they?
Tulsa always asked if they were 18.
Tulsa certainly did.
Here. That's it. And people say that, and they know that. They know people lie, but they'll still be like, "Did you hear?" Hey, but you know everyone lies.
Hey, did you hear about Tulsa? Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Tulsa's still selling out theaters. You got to give Tulsa credit. Like, people abandoned Tulsa, but he's still got a career. Say what you will about him.
This Tulsa's real Tyler Fischer. You know what I'm saying?
Lies. So you're just using this lie, or unless you think it's the truth. But for what reason? Because what? You did research? What? Everything is an echo chamber. We're messed. We're messed.
Now, I gotta say, that seems like a harsh reaction to someone rolling their eyes at the city of Tulsa.
It's Overreaction Sunday, Mike. A guy goes outside, he's banned, and then this thing happens.
Well, tell me this. Why didn't Tulsa's wife abandon him then? Huh? He must not be all bad, this Tulsa. She would have left if this was all true about Tulsa.
Agreed. Next one is called...
Tulsa has been railroaded.
TV review is next.
Okay, so this is... Chris has a couple... crutches, I guess you would call. We all have crutches, and Chris's I didn't know were crutches until I just checked back in on his podcast, because I think the last time we talked about Chris D'Elia, it's been months. But the last time I checked in on him, he would do this like vague TV or movie review where he rambles on about, and then his like review is like, it was not bad. Okay, I'm glad I went on that journey with you. And so it's a thing that often comes up on this podcast. Chris is a man of culture. He likes talking about things that happen in that culture. And TV is one of those things. So he's talking about Jude Law and Jason Bateman are in a Netflix show together. And you kind of start to think this is going somewhere. I'll let Chris take it from there.
Jason Bateman, and I work in mergers and acquisitions. I work in mergers and acquisitions. Not that Patrick Bateman. Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman and Jude Law. And they play brothers, which is super weird. Jude Law is like, all right. You know, he's British. And then you turn on Netflix.
That sounds like a British... I got what he was doing there. I'm glad he explained it, because I was a little confused. But I was like, that sounds pretty British. And then, sure enough, the punchline was, he's British.
All right, I'll let you know, it looks like something I'd like. But also, Bateman kind of always plays the same guy, kind of. And Jude Law is British. And he's one of those guys that's very British looking and British, very British. So I'm like, they're
saying nothing. The amount of words this guy has used to say nothing. He's like, it is like talking to, and I guess this is part of Chris's charm. I think if you asked like fans of Chris D'Elia, this is actually what they like about him. But he talks like a little kid telling a story, or a girl telling a story, quite frankly. But like, they ramble on and use the most amount of words possible to say nothing. Like the length of he's, and I think from Chris's audience's perspective, it's like, oh no, that's the really funny part. When he's like, this guy's British, and I mean, he's really British. And they're like, whoa, that's funny. That's funny how he said that. It's kind of the Dane Cook thing, where it's, I guess, more the inflection. I'm just missing it as all. That's, I guess, ultimately my point.
Playing brothers, and Jason Bateman's playing the derelict. So let's see what's up, dude. So hey, Netflix, sup? Download. 5 episodes because I'm flying. Sup? So I play it.
It sounds like his tone suggests he's going to have something pretty harsh to say about this episode. I can't wait till because Andy's got kind of an axe to grind with Netflix. They edited him out of a thing when his controversy came up. So let's see where this goes, man. I mean, this could be crazy, this TV review that Chris has. He seems fired up about it.
Watch, Netflix, you know, and in the first scene, first episode, I was like, are they doing it? Are they playing? Should Jude Law play the other part? And I'll tell you, it's a great show.
All right, we got there.
That was the whole thing. Yeah. Like he's got this bill, and where even he's like, should Jude Law play the other part? And I'm thinking, and that was just a great show. Moving on. Next topic.
Dead ends everywhere.
It's a great show. Well, who gives a shit then? Why did you waste all our time with that? Like, Jason Bateman plays the same part all the time, and Jude Law is so British. Well, it's good. So, anyways, I was in Tulsa this weekend.
Next up, stream of consciousness. That's all this guy is, man.
He really is. And again, I guess that's his charm, and it's just lost on me. I'm sure people like it. He's a very successful guy. His podcast still does well. Like, he does well on the road and everything. So I'm just missing it. But like, maybe stream of consciousness in general just annoys me, because like I never found like Robin Williams very funny. But at least Robin Williams would pepper in a few wacky voices and impression, like good impressions. Chris will throw some voices at you, but they're nonsensical. And that's what I felt when I was listening to this rant. But this is another one of the things, this is a staple of Chris's program, are these stream of conscious rants.
Apple TV will be fucking. I saw this meme the other day. It was like Apple TV will be like they'll be like, yeah, we gave it's got Helen Mirren, Tom Cruise, and Timothy Chalamet in it, and each of their what do you call it? Payrolls. What do you call them? Each of their what do you call that word? God damn it! I need Pinkenko Biloba. What's their paycheck? What their what? No, what's the deal? Their deal was
all right. We got
it. He's not happy with the word he chose, but he's going with it. Like,
deal is fine. Continue, soldier on.
$75 million each, and it costs $500 million to make, and you're like, and you're like, don't even know about the movie, and then you'll see Netflix put out like The Toilet Chronicles, and it's like all the rage, and everyone talks about it, and it costs $8 to make, and fucking Kato Kaelin is hosting it.
I haven't seen that show.
I mean, I'd watch The Toilet Chronicles honestly with Kato Kaelin before I'd watch that fucking bullshit Timothy Sports Chalet shit.
You made up the movie. It's a movie you made up with Timothy Chalamet. It doesn't exist, Chris. You made it up. And he's mad about it.
He made art for it, though. That was nice of him.
But anyway, I was watching what? Quote, I don't know. An paycheck what?
Contract. We're back on the word you were thinking of? How did we get back there? We moved on. We did it. You said deal. We're all like, all right, that's probably not it, but we get it. We know what you mean. We're back on that somehow? And we're listening to a guy off mic tell you what it is? Is it quote? No. That's not it. Is it deal? No. Money. Is it money? No. But this is crucial. We need to figure out what it is, even though clearly we're in the right ballpark. Like, we all know what he means.
After the story doesn't really matter. You've already told the story.
Yeah, the story is done. We got it. We figured it out.
No, we need the headstone on this thing. It'll really make the story just hit harder.
What's your salary? Yes, dude.
Oh, hey, go back. You put a wacky celebration on that. It really takes away from what he actually does, finding the word salary. Go back a little bit.
Okay.
The word was salary. Now you might think, who gives a fuck? I'll tell you, not just KC, but Chris D'Elia as well thinks it's worth celebrating.
What? Contract. What's your salary? Yes, dude. Salary. So close to celery, but it's salary.
I guess.
And also, gold is measured in carats, and that's carats.
What? Hold on.
Celery and carrots.
Salary is close to celery. Also, gold is measured in carats. This is like GG33 telling me what numbers represent. It's like, I don't think we're that close here, man. It seems like a bit of a stretch.
It's more like GD Fenderson, just nonsense. Expect to laugh at the end.
Didn't realize how much money had to do with vegetation.
Nice.
Cabbage.
Nice, man. Well, there you go. I didn't realize how much money had to do with vegetation. That's a good bit. That was the end result. All that meandering, like him. screaming when he heard the word salary. Yes! All that was for was so that he could say vegetation and money. Similar terms. Am I right, folks?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Where's all that type?
I'm looking up more veggie names.
That's okay. That's okay.
All right, this next one's called Profound.
This is pretty deep thinking. This is like Chris almost has a thought where you're like, oh, that's a good point. And then he has to ruin it with more of his horse shit.
It's mostly the liberals that talk about privilege, okay? And they also believe that mental health is real. So what the fuck does privilege matter if in your head you think everything is bonkers? Yes, figured it out, dude! What's privilege matter when you aren't who you are in society? You are who you are in your head. Yes!
I want you to hear something, Casey Day. That's what I think of when you do that shit. Just hear me loud and clear. When there's this grandiose pomp and circumstance around every mundane point, I think of this man. So just keep that in mind.
I liked it. Chris, you need a producer?
I'm sure you did.
Anyway.
Chris, you can have all sorts of wacky horns. Now go back after that celebration. He's all excited. And then listen to the come down from that.
The come down, yeah, that's the hard part.
You are who you are in your head. Yes! Anyway, dude.
I think that's the real guy, by the way. I think the anyway, dude. And like when I hear Chris around other people, like when he's on the golden hour, I don't hate him as much. Like he's not as annoying. He's kind of like he'll break Brendan's balls or whatever. Like on that show, he's kind of all right. If we ever clip the golden hour, except he did do that weird. What was it a few weeks ago? Do you remember? Last time we played Chris D'Elia clips were from the golden hour, and he was going on this rant where he's like, "Hey, the victims of Harvey Weinstein, they're not innocent." It's like, why are you taking this argument? So he does have moments like that. But like when he's like breaking Brendan's balls, you're like, okay, I get the appeal of this guy. But I think it's the lunacy of broadcasting alone. It can drive you mad. He's got the producer off mic or whatever. But essentially, he's just talking to the audience, and it drives people nuts. I think you need someone to bounce off of. Otherwise, you do this. Like you're saying something, and it doesn't feel like you're getting any validation from the audience because you're just talking to yourself. So you're like, oh yeah, I think, people talk about privilege, but like mental health is real. So even privileged people have problems. And that doesn't feel like you're saying anything. So instead you got to go, yeah, just to feel like you're saying something. Like that, and then you're like, oh, okay, now I'm really doing something.
It's called broadcasting, Mike, and I like it. Good job, Chris. Weird rant is up
I'm
next.
sure you do. Okay, this is I guess more of that stream of consciousness, but I don't know why he's so intent on equating these two things, because he doesn't do a good job of presenting why they should be connected. But I think this is kind of his thoughts on like racial harmony in a way.
Oh joy!
There's a girl on it too, and they have a guest on it too, because of course they do. And the guest is
he's talking about Cameron has a podcast, I guess, and he's talking about that for some reason.
I think there's more people who don't have podcasts now.
And you keep saying to the lady, and Cameron's like, you got to stop. You got to stop. You got to stop doing that because, I don't want you to be hitting on her because I told you her boyfriend is here.
It's a spot on impression.
And you got to respect her boyfriend. And my thing is like, yeah, also respect her.
Chris.
That's rich.
Why? Why would you take that side of the argument? Why inject yourself into some podcast interaction and go, brother, if I can for a second, respect the lady, all right? Mm-hmm. And that is from me, Chris D'Elia. She's a person, sir, okay? I don't know how they do it in your community, but maybe treat her like a human being. Now put down that Rolling Stone article. What are you doing? No. I treat women like this all the time. I'm a gentleman.
And they're like, ha, 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 ha. You know what I mean? That's the thing about guys they don't get sometimes, where you're hitting on a girl and you're like, yeah, she likes it. And she's just fucking, yeah, but go away, you know? And so this guy's like, damn, you're fine as hell. And then Cameron finally is like, you got it. Did you put it up here or no?
Yeah, can you imagine?
Like,
can you believe, Chris? Some guys think that.
Stop talking.
The girl said, "Go away," but like she doesn't mean it. You know, that's just what guys do. That's being a dude. You know.
Chris's lawyer is panicking somewhere right now.
Girls, not enough guys realize that. The girls are always like, "Go away, please," and you're like, they're just kidding. You know, that's just how guys are. That's how we're wired.
Interesting way to walk this back years later.
I'm 16. I don't know why they let me in this club. You know, the girls say that and they never mean it.
You got it. You got to go. You got to go. And then Cameron pulls out, this is the blackest thing I've ever seen in my life, okay? And by the way, by blackest, I mean also most Italian. Because let's face it, Italians and blacks are the same, dude.
Wow.
They are...
I never thought of it that way, Chris. That's really enlightening.
Hey,
you know what? You cut us open, we're all just blood and guts. You know, that's all we are at the end of the day. We're all just people. And finally, Chris D'Elia has perfectly articulated it through stereotypical impressions and misogynist thinking, or whatever we use. I don't know what the point is of any of this is, but he's saying that women say things they don't mean, and blacks and Italians are the same. All right.
And that TV show was good.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things we
I'm Italian, okay? So whenever I say, oh man, it's so crazy, black people do this, I go, so do Italians, man.
Why are you saying that so often? whenever I get pretty racist, I'm like, oh, we're also terrible, just like the blacks.
Yes.
Oh, us Dagos can also be annoying, just like they are. Just like those people.
We can also be ins sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Think about it. Pinky rings.
Is that a black thing?
I've never met a black man with a pinky ring in my life.
Feels like a stretch, but I'm not in on the culture. I could be wrong.
Right?
No.
Emotional.
Okay. I don't know if that's specific to blacks and Italians, but I'll grant you that one, I guess.
All those emotional pinky ring wearing blacks I run into every day in this liberal city. My God.
Loud in the movie theater. Italians. They're all.
Oh, I can't tell you the amount of times I'm in a movie theater and some fucking guinea is like, oh, my mother's sauce. Oh, it's such an Italian stereotype.
It is. They're also terrible drivers.
It's tough for me because obviously I don't see well already. So in a dark movie theater, the amount of times I hear, hey, I'm walking here. And I'm like, you fucking grease balls always in this movie theater.
Every time I'm in a movie theater, just a random Adrian will be yelled. I'm like, why, guys? Not here.
Yes.
You know, so it's like,
it's a good point, though. We're not so different at the end of the day, I guess.
No.
We are blacks and Dagos, both emotional.
Mike, we get a musical number out of Chris D'Elia.
That's another D'Elia staple. I was happy to check in on Chris's podcast and see that he still does all of these things. Sometimes he sings, as Craig and I have pointed out in the past, sometimes he sings songs to get out of trouble when his wife is on the show. He'll just break into a jaunty tune. And sometimes they're for no reason at all. And you decide which one this is.
So then we all wake up and I go, I'm going to take Calvin to school. He's going to be late. I had no sleep this weekend and I got so much last night and I'm so fucking happy about it. She says, okay. So I go take him to school. Then I go get coffee. And I'm like, Monday, la, 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 it's today, or whatever the fuck it thing. And I'll always be drinking coffee, then I'll work out, then I'll fucking get a protein shake, la la.
Yeah,
whatever
if you,
it fucking
if
goes.
you gave an 8-year-old a microphone and said, like, be funny. Hey, you have to be funny right now. This is the shit they would do. It's like, okay, I drink coffee. Like there's no substance to this. It's just insanity. It's utter insanity. And again, maybe that's what people are listening to Chris for. They need a break from their day, and they say, I need to listen to a man who's working really hard on his podcast. He told me how hard he's working. This is the work that he's put in. That he tells a story bitching about his wife, who has stood by him through all this. And he's like, let me tell you what this fucking coos is up to. And so he bitches about her for a minute, and then he breaks into song halfway through.
I try to ignore all the trainers to get me doing free sessions so they can hook me into a deal. Da da Monday. So I'm in the gym now. Drank coffee. No, I'm not in the gym. I'm gonna go to the gym.
Oh, good. I'm glad we got that. Again, he tells stories like a girl. It's amazing he's a professional comedian. And, like, his stand-up is not... There's things we could mock, but it's not, like, mockably bad. He is a stand-up. He's a pro, you know? So it's amazing to me that on his podcast, he's not able to tell a fucking story. It's the craziest thing. He loses confidence, and he sings, and he does goofy voices and wacky horse shit. It's weird.
Yeah, that is an interesting show. I might have to listen to that. The guy's goofy, and I like goofy.
You would fit right in. You'd be like, Chris, I'm going to change your world and play a fucking honky horn sound. That's what I was looking for.
You asked for it. You get it. Yeah. Mike, we have a few super chats here.
Okay.
And then GD Fenderson time, baby.
I don't know if I have it in me. I've been betrayed once today. I don't know if I have it in me to talk about this guy, but let's get through these super chats first.
All right, a queef in the night, $4.99. Congrats on the win, HACKRIDE. P.S. You seemed out of it until the end. Good game. Yeah, it was a boring-ass game up until the end. Then it became an instant classic.
The Ducks. People are congratulating you on the Ducks win.
You're welcome. By sending you money, they're congratulating. Principle and uncertainty, £5. Oh, we read this one. He's delete laughs. That was about, the last segment. Raphael Wells, $4.99. David Collins wanted to be a part of Why Are You Laughing?
I don't think he kept asking to do a Drake Sather episode, who I didn't have a ton of interest in doing. At least at the maybe I will eventually. You know, like maybe I'll do a Drake Sather episode. I just didn't want to do it when he asked me. And he did it with Craig, and I said it was funny and good.
Mike, I got an idea. Why don't we give him your channel so he can create his own show?
No, that would be very rude of me.
It would. It would show that you don't like him.
Yeah, that would be a dickhead move on my part.
By the way, I've never gotten that. You've never handed the reins of your channel over to me.
Well, you do in a way.
Well, yes. I mean,
you start this show. I trust you to not do Catch-22 on this channel. So
well, in a way, you
do have that power.
Yeah. Flatbush Tommy, $10. His, I believe this is about our Tyler Fischer. I think his first inclination is to secretly record a call to try and catch his employer in some sort of controversy.
That's what I mean. Like, it's a little suspicious.
Yeah, that tells me he's probably been an ongoing problem at the club, very least annoying to employ.
Yeah. If your instinct is to backstab the person immediately, then it might not be all of them. You know, is all we're saying. I think.
Yeah, and if you're on that T website, but you can't name the users because there's so many of them, that might be a problem too. I don't like the idea of that website.
It seems gross. I didn't know that was the point of it, but yeah, that does seem gross.
Well, ladies need protecting, Mike, and so they got to do.
Yeah, but at what cost? At the expense of our fun?
Yeah, no, totally. And by the way, I'm never looking on that thing to see if I'm on it. That scares me. But Mike,
oh God, yeah,
you know what time it is?
Yeah,
it's Fenderson time. GD Fenderson, baby.
I guess it's Fenderson time. Fenderson flying up the ranks in my book today.
Oh no! Yeah, he did. I guess he did.
Yeah.
This is where like a bye week helps you, Mike. You know, like people forget about you.
Maybe today I'll look at GD Fenderson with sort of a breath of fresh air, like he wasn't so bad at the end of the day. Maybe I had him all wrong. Maybe I was a dick to GD Fenderson. You know?
Oh God, no! I think you were. I think you were nice to him.
I'm such a bad guy. I'm a mean guy. I think if you interact with me, that's the one takeaway, is that I'm a nasty boy. And that's why GD Fenderson and these people betray me, stab me in the back. They drew first blood, don't forget. So GD Fenderson, our friend, has a comedy special that we are making our way through. How far in are we?
We have 20 minutes left of an hour and 50-minute comedy special.
Oh my God, we have 20 minutes left?
20 minutes left, yeah. Probably 4
Wow.
episodes left, yeah.
In case he's very excited to put together a compilation of every time we've talked about GD Fenderson. I will say that I think there's like 10 minutes we skipped that we might have to go back and do again.
Oh no, bonus footage is what you're saying.
There is like 10 or 15 minutes I just flew through. But
the lost time of GD Fenderson. We'll have to go back.
Let's pick it up. I'm bummed today. I'm in a sad mood. I need a few laughs. Let's hear what GD has to say, and maybe it'll turn this day around.
All right, and as always, once you hear that ding, we'll stop it and read the closed caption comedy for you, Mike, and then you will explain to us what it means. Okay?
That's when we get the real laughs. That's when hilarity ensues.
Here we go. We pick up with some family talk.
So, but like I said, parents fuck up their kids. It's not on purpose. You know, but in normal households and happy households, the kids are hearing stories like the ugly duckling, frog prince. I heard
People
stories
telling
about
me, by the way, you're insane for not agreeing with me that that's his hair making that noise.
Well, DJ Electra switched me on that, but I think it's his hair rubbing on his shirt. So it's kind of everyone's right here.
I think I was right. I think I was right. And you said I was wrong.
Okay, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. See, that's how it's done. You just say you're wrong and move on. I'm wrong.
Oh, the dad who should have pulled out, or the mom who should have swallowed. Hashtag regrets. You know, but the reason I wasn't so fucked up, or as fucked up, is because in order for parents to successfully lie to their kids, they have to agree upon the lies. If you're telling your kids two different lies, they're going to know something up. So you have to tell them the same lie in order to fuck them up. Dad, where do babies come from? Well, you know, son, a man and a woman love each other very much. Sometimes they touch. And if that touch is strong enough, in 9 months, the stork is going to bring a baby. Mom, where do babies come from?
The noise is all
well,
I'm thinking
son,
about.
if you're talking about the west side of Baltimore, he probably came from your father.
Okay, you know what? I don't think he's done a great job at setting up who his father, like if his father fucks around or something. That's a joke, though. You got to give him that. That's a legitimate joke.
He fucked half the city. That is a joke. Not possible, so an exaggeration technically.
Hats off, GD. Did I tell you or did I tell you? He's going to turn me around here today. His closer is excellent. He waited an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes, but this last 20 minutes is solid. I guarantee it.
Yep, slinging dick since 1946.
Slinging dick since 1946 was that tag right there, Mike.
Nice.
So,
you forget how
that's a
old
joke.
GD is.
Yeah.
Now, but parents, they usually lie out of convenience because they don't feel like learning to tell the kids the truth. They don't feel like saying, you know, all Mexicans aren't bad. No, they'd rather just say, you know, they're stealing all our jobs. They're breeding like rabbits. Or...
All right. See Trump's escalator speech.
Okay.
Maybe it'll continue.
The black people, they're stealing all the white women. That's not true.
Oh, because they're wait. Trump said about Mexican people, they're all rapists and murderers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's not all of them.
It makes sense. You got to give him that. Like, we understood what he was talking about.
Now just need the joke. We're all here on logic. All right. Now just second part.
This guy's great. Nah, he's funny. You know, GD, you're welcome on the show anytime. This guy, he gets it.
Let's give him a show, Mike. Let's do it.
GD, anytime, you know what? carte blanche. We'll collaborate. Whatever that means to you. If you want me on every week, fine.
It's not theft if they come along willingly.
By the way, at that time that David was doing that show, I was doing 6 podcasts a week already.
Yes, you're a busy man.
All I'm saying is, and I was offering to do a 7th with him. I don't know. It seems crazy.
You never offered to do a show with me, Mike. I get a little jealous of this right now. So, fuck
I don't
you,
want
Forrest.
to. That's why.
By the way, title, Dark Forest. Do you like that? I like that.
I was going to go, Craig was right.
Oh, that's a good one. No,
I want to pay
don't do
homage to
that.
Craig. Craig was right. I want people to know. I want to say it loud and proud. Craig was right.
No.
Yes.
Live that down. All right.
It's not true. It's not all of them. And it's not theft if they come along willingly.
Reparations.
It's not theft if they... We might have to go way back for this one because I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah, we're going to...
Go back to when I called him funny because that's when I started losing...
right.
You could tell I wasn't paying attention right around there.
All right, lock in, Mike. Here we go.
Okay.
The black people, they're stealing all the white women.
Okay.
It's not true. It's not all of them. And it's not theft if they come along willingly.
Reparations. White women or
The
reparations?
white women
That's
are
a joke.
reparations.
That's a
GD,
joke.
you're killing it.
He did it.
This
That is a
guy
joke.
is great. He's sprinting to the finish line here.
That rest is just filler. The rest of the album is filler. Now we're to
Yes.
Stairway to Heaven.
He wanted to shake out the, he didn't want the fake fans there, people that can't handle it when he gets real with us.
Mm-hmm.
And we stayed along for the journey, and boy, is it paying off. GD, you're killing it here.
2-hour setup to get to these punchlines.
Mhm.
You got it. This is a long-term thinker. This is Andy
This
Kaufman.
is good stuff. White women are reparations.
Yes.
Isn't that right, honey? No. No, but parents, they just
don't understand.
Keep doing it. They keep fucking up the kids. Like in Iowa, they passed a bill so that a child of any age could own a handgun. Yeah. Trigger, please.
I know what that word sounds like. Oh, GD. See, he's got this deep, thoughtful stuff, and he'll also be silly. He'll do wordplay, like George Carlin himself, where, he'll comment on society, but he'll also have fart jokes. Like that. This is good stuff. This is a good mixture of all different styles of humor, and I really appreciate it.
A little extra air went through my nose on that one. That was real.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
And that bill is not age specific. See, a 13-year-old could own a handgun. A 7-year-old could own a handgun. A 2-year-old could own a handgun. A 1-month-old could hand a gun.
I'd like GD to maybe look into the realities of this bill. I can't imagine that's true, but all right.
Go with it, Mike. He's setting us up here for
All right, I'll live in this. Hey, listen, it's all about suspending disbelief. I'll live in this world. A 1-month-old can own a handgun, yes.
Yes.
A handgun. And since the far right believes that embryos are babies and babies can own handguns, at some point, a woman's going to have to figure out whether her right to not have a gun in her womb is outweighed by a 7.5-week-old embryo's right to own a gun. Now, I have to say 7.5 weeks because...
Boy, I hate
fun out
to
of that
say
one.
this, GD. You've lost me a little bit. Go back, please. Just the wording of it didn't really make sense.
Oh, shit. Okay, let's start.
At some point, a woman's going to have to figure out whether her right to not have a gun in her womb is outweighed by a 7.5-week-old embryo's right to own a gun. Now, I have to say 7.5 weeks because...
I get it. I get it,
don't.
brother. I
don't.
get it. Loud and clear. But I'm just curious. It feels like a bit of a reach. Like, I think there are other ways you could have made this abortion gun rights point. I'm willing to suspend disbelief. Believe you me, I'm hanging by bungee cords here. I'm waiting, but I don't know that I quite relate to where you've brought this bit.
The punchline's going to be a banger, Mike. It's going to be about shoving a gun in a lady's pussy or something.
I'm sorry for interrupting, GD. That was my fault.
That's when hands develop, and it's stupid to buy a handgun.
I'm not gonna laugh.
But that should make the ultrasound interesting, though, wouldn't it? There you go, Mrs. Smith. That's your baby. Oh my God, it's a boy. No, ma'am. That's a girl, and she's got a big old Glock.
How did it get in there?
Glock blocking. New title, by the way.
But it wasn't blocked.
No, it's in the ultrasound. It's in there.
Yeah, the Glock was in there. I don't know if the pun works. Also, like,
looks like a baby penis, Mike.
What he's trying to say. I'm gonna help my guy GD out here. We're in the writers' room. We're working on it.
We're punching it up. We're
tinkering. What he's trying to say is, they'll let children own a gun. They think life starts at conception. So would you want an embryo to own a gun? Imagine how dangerous that would be. Implausible, sure.
Mm-hmm.
How does the gun get in there?
You shove it in the pussy, Mike.
It's not, this law does not make it mandatory for children to have guns. So it's not required that this embryo has a gun. You see? So it's muddy is all I'm saying. It's a little unclear, but it's a funny image. And Glock blocking was good.
Yeah, great setup too. Embryo with a gun. We're working on setups right now.
GD he's a loyal guy who would never stab me in the back, and he's good with puns.
And for what we know, GD is his real name. Everything points to that.
He's a great man.
Yeah. Ultrasound still going on.
Parents are just getting crazy. They're getting stupid. Shouldn't say getting stupid. They're just stupid. But it's not the kids with the guns that worry me. It's the grown-ups, the ones that are training the kids. See, there's a reason why we put on plastic bags. This is
the one who's training the kids. Is that a big problem in America? An army of children?
Yes. I've heard about children in the corn. Maybe. I don't know.
It's not for babies because babies can't read.
I'm sorry. I mentioned too soon for mentioning corn, Mike. I'm sorry.
It's for grown-ups because they're the ones that give the babies the bags to play with.
You got to go back. I'm lost.
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault, GD. It's mine. I wasn't paying attention.
It's the ones that are training the kids. See, there's a reason why we put on plastic bags. This is not a toy, and it's not for babies because babies can't read. It's for grown-ups because they're the ones that give the babies the bags to play with.
Oh, okay.
In Florida, Miss Jamie Gilt, she's the gun advocate.
Yeah, that was it. That was a new subject. Speaking of people.
I got to push back here, GD. I don't know that babies owning guns is a problem worth taking down in your comedy special. And this is a friend saying that. I just worry that the idea that a bunch of babies now own guns because of some law in whatever state he mentioned, I don't know that that's a massive problem that needed to be taken down. It hasn't materialized. I mean, you know what? Maybe in 2016, my memory's not that great. I bet in 2016, people were petrified of this. So far be it from me to go back in time and criticize something that was so topical. And now that I'm thinking about it, I do remember people were like, oh, God, there's a kid. And you worry that he has a gun. You know, people were a little scared. So maybe that's where this was.
In Florida,
now we're doing the thing where he just reads a story out of a newspaper and tells you what happened.
We're back in Florida, huh?
Yes. Another alligator.
That Florida stuff is ripe for the picking.
It is.
No one has ever mentioned Florida. Now that I'm starting to think about it, because GD has kind of put this into perspective for me. Florida, man, that place has some wacky characters, huh?
It does.
I sure would like to hear more about it. Maybe GD is going to deliver.
This is Jamie Gilt. She's the gun advocate. She has a .45 caliber handgun on her back seat. She's driving her.
Strike one.
Oh, nice. Yeah, fuck that bitch. Get her, GD.
Truck. The baby, her 4-year-old, is in the seat next to the gun, and he's not in the car seat.
Mike, do you want to guess what?
I have a feeling.
Strike two.
Okay. Number 1. He gets his hand on the gun and he shoots her in the back. Now,
Jesus.
Hey-o, comedy, am I right, people? Shooting your mother in the back.
Good Lord.
I guess he's right about these babies and guns, though. We got to do something about this.
Okay, well, comedy plus tragedy plus time or whatever the fuck. So maybe he's going to make something out of this.
she's fine. But like the NRA says, nothing stops a bad mom with a gun, but a good son with her gun.
Foul tip.
You know what? It doesn't make any fucking sense, but it got me.
That's a
I'm laughing. I'm enjoying it. That the punchline itself wasn't great. I'll be honest about my guy. I don't love the punchline, but I think that little subtitle changed everything for me. Foul tip is good. That's good stuff.
I like it, especially if you're thinking like, I was trying to murder my mom. I only injured her. Foul tip.
Yeah,
not the home run I was going.
That's
for.
pretty good.
Pretty dark, GD. I got to be honest with you. I like it.
And speaking of characters, I think GD's Dr. Reverend Jelly Roll, we got to give that another try. That was funny.
Mm-hmm.
If he wants to do a show every Wednesday morning, that's good stuff.
Mike, I had so much GD Fenderson stuff. When you and him fell out, I got very sad. We have a lot of GD content I can show you that you probably haven't seen.
Well, now that we're good friends again.
I can't wait till the coffee with the dog tomorrow morning. Oh, that's good. That's going to be worth tuning into.
I'm sure.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Go watch Coffee with the Dog. It'll definitely be worth tuning into.
You and 2 other people and me will be there. Us 4. We'll all be there.
It's not like ha-ha funny. It's like, what the fuck was she thinking funny? The people...
What that should have been the name of this show. It's not Ha Ha Funny. That should have been the title. GD Fenderson.
Would have been a good title. It's not Ha Ha Funny. That would be great, GD. Consider that, rebrand it. You can go in and change the title. It's not Ha Ha Funny. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Good title for our show.
In Mississippi, a gentleman had a gun. Had a van with brushes.
A ban?
A ban. I don't know what that is. Let's go back here and let's give it a harder listen here, because I don't get what a ban could do.
In Mississippi, a gentleman had a gun. Had a van with bushes, and he starts a fire. Fire gets out of control, and he panics and he goes to put the fire out with his van.
Oh, van? Like a vehicle?
A van, yes.
He had a gun. I'm sorry, he had a van. That's a little confusing, but all right.
And then he had a bush. I mean, a bush.
Good to leave it in the
this
special.
one over.
The fire.
Ha, funny, right?
Problem is, his van is loaded, wait for it, with guns and ammunition. Yeah. Hashtag doesn't end well.
Why the hashtags?
I don't know.
You're speaking.
Kablooey.
He's crushing the subtitles now.
The closed captions are fucking A+ today.
He is nailing the subtitles. He's really hit his stride an hour and a half in.
Kablooey.
People, they just...
But I don't want to do this. I got to go back to the last bit. So the point of it's a gun violence chunk. He's like Jim Jeffries here. He's really turning the NRA on its upside down right now with this takedown of gun control, and it pivots to a guy with a van, and the van has firearms in it. Yes,
correct.
But that's not why they were having a bonfire. He said.
Yes.
And the fire got out of hand.
And he tried to put it out with the van.
Yes. So that is the fault of the guns Like that's what we're saying. Like that's a common enough occurrence that you could be like, see, that's why guns are bad. Like, I don't know if that's an everyman story, I guess is my point, where you can go, oh, my neighbor did that, you know?
We always get to this part of the G.D. Fenderson comedy special where you make funny sounds, Mike. You're like,
well, I'm perplexed, and I wanna understand my buddy. A lot of my good friends make points where I'm like, huh, what do you mean? And they gotta explain it to me. So that's just what bros do.
All right, we backed it up here. Let's see. Everyone focus.
With his van.
All right, let me back it up a little more. His fucking van.
With bushes, and he...
Holy shit, back up a little more here. Hold on.
That's fine. Please.
It's not like ha-ha funny. It's like, what the fuck was she thinking funny? The people in Mississippi, a gentleman had a van with bushes, and he starts a fire. Fire gets out of control, and he panics, and he goes to put the fire out with his van.
I don't understand that. He goes to put the fire out with his van. What does that mean?
You never put a fire out with your car, Mike? I mean, come on.
Oh, let me just drive over that.
You Brendan Schaub it. You just turn it over right into the fire. You're good.
Yeah, I think this might be the fault of the driver, not necessarily the guns that were inside his van.
Rolling over the fire. Problem is, his van is loaded, wait for it, with guns and ammunition. Yeah.
Kablooey!
Hashtag doesn't end well.
Yep, you got it, Mike. Kablooey.
I do hate when people talk in like internet speak.
The hashtag.
Like out loud. Like hashtag doesn't end well.
Mm-hmm. That was so 2016.
There's also a thing I'm noticing in society. GD is not guilty of this, certainly. But there's a thing I'm noticing in society, and I think John Mulaney started this trend. I blame John Mulaney for it. I think he's a very funny man, but I blame him for this. Where people will ask a sarcastic question, and they'll end it by saying question mark. Like they'll go, do you think so? Question mark. And it's like, no, but you asked a question. It's not confusing. It's not like you said a sentence, but you're actually questioning it. Like they're asking a question and then saying question mark out loud. It really bugs me. If you haven't heard it, keep an ear out for it. And it'll annoy you as well, I think.
I like asking a question, but then saying period. Like, are you a man? Period. So you can't answer because it's not a question. It was a period at the end. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
sure you'd say a lot of things that would annoy me too, now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh, don't get me started.
People, they're just getting stupider and stupider and stupider.
That's true. That is very true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm holding.
How stupid are they?
I like it. I like it, GD. How stupid are they? Now, where's this going?
Nowhere.
They're homosexuals who want everybody to carry guns, including on airplanes. In the meantime, certain people with loaded brains are not allowed on airplanes. On American Airlines, a passenger was kicked off the plane because the lady sitting next to him said he was a terrorist. This Italian economist had dark hair and a beard and a laptop, and therefore she thought he was a terrorist. I don't blame her for not knowing that delta and sigma and epsilon are used in math.
She thought it was a terrorist code.
What was? The thing he said now?
Yes. She thought it was a terrorist code, the Alpha
But she didn't hear him say that.
That's a technicality I don't think he thought about.
So maybe she thought that they were on a Delta flight, and she's like, oh, that must be code. Boy, that doesn't seem like terrorist speak. Delta. I gotta be honest.
No.
I blame Mr. Guido Menzio, who has a PhD in economics, because he did not know that algebra is on the no-fly list. And so are people from
Algebra. I think he was trying to, like, bro's not on the fly list, maybe?
Algebra
Yeah.
like a sort of a Middle Eastern name, Algebra.
There we go. You got it.
But that's not his name. He's an economics teacher. Is that what GD is saying?
Yes, he was an Italian economics teacher.
But he's not doing math on the plane. Like, why is algebra?
If he is doing math, Mike, he's not yelling algebra while he's doing it. That would be great.
Right. It's a little flimsy, but I see where he's trying to go. I will also say it's weird to go from a guns are the problem bit to like people in general are just stupid because it's like, yeah, so it's the people that are the problem. That's kind of taken away from the argument you just made.
From kablooey to algebra was quite the left answer.
Yeah.
From Afghanistan, Pakistan, we can't stand and we don't understand.
Hey, I got to tell you, say what you want about it now. October of 01, that's getting a chuckle. You know? It was a different time, but that's getting a laugh back then.
Absolutely. Oh, goddamn. I worked hard on that news, quote, joke.
News joke. So is he saying it's not really it's not funny? I like that.
Yeah.
A little self-deprecation. He's like, joke if you want to call it that.
No, I think he's saying that it's a serious topic, not that he made it funny. All right, I'm just going to give up. Fine, you're right.
Let's I'm thinking about winding down here. Let's see if he moves on to the next topic.
Mike, we've actually made it.
Yeah.
We made it much farther than we have in previous ones. So.
Yeah, because it's the best stuff.
No, people, I swear, they're just in Florida.
Oh my God! No, all right, I can't. All right. We'll start there. We'll start in Florida next time. You can't. Enough about Florida.
People, am I right?
Christ,
Florida.
And it's not even a Florida chunk. He peppers in these Florida stories, and then he drifts away from, and then he goes back, and he's like, "But in Florida, we get it. It's a wacky place."
He only gets one paper, Mike, so he does his news on one paper.
I can't go back to Florida. We'll do it another time. We'll revisit GD soon. This has been an odd week for me. You have to cut me a little slack, folks.
Yeah, that was a good ending, though. That was a great dismount, GD. Thank you so much. We appreciate that.
We did 4.5 hours last week. Go listen to some of that, you know?
Yeah, this is
not
refractory.
They're not all going to be like that. Yeah.
It's a refractory show. Yeah. One super
People
chat
out
here.
of me. All right, let's hear it.
Colostomy bags, Stephen Kuntz, $9.99. The hair noise is driving me nuts. What is
It's a little distracting. It's not the hair, according to Casey. It's always been that, according to Casey, also. So
what hair sounds crunchy? I don't
know. That's got to be what it is. It's the only thing that makes sense.
It's a non-human sound. I don't know what it is. Mike, where can we find you to find the shows and your links?
DC 30-minute half-hour show.
God damn it.
Go to blindmike.net. Support the show. Hey, lift my spirits. I'll try the Aaron Imhold angle. You guys, if you want me to feel better today, then become a member on Patreon or YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment. We appreciate you guys supporting the show for free as well. That helps more people find the show. If you're like David Collins and you enjoy Why Are You Laughing? Which I still do, by the way. I don't really understand. Well, I'm gonna stop thinking about it the rest of the day.
Yeah, just let it go, man. Football. 7 hours ago. 4 commercial-free football.
Go watch the Patriots lose. Yeah, good. Why Are You Laughing is back in full force. The next episode will be a man we talked about today. That episode might feel dated. We talked about Bill Burr, and that was before some of this Riyadh stuff. But Craig and I talk about Bill Burr, how his material has changed, because we talk about Let It Go, his I would say first real hit comedy, like the one that kind of put him on the map, really. So check that out. That'll be the Why Are You Laughing this week, and become a member for early access and bonus content. What's HackRide Studios up to?
Well, just doing our unboxing shows. Go to hackridestudios.com. We got Eric this week, and we got Bigfoot this week. Also, I got clips of every single video Howard Stern ever made and every single audio that was ever so if you ever need anything, Mike, I'm your man. I got it all now.
You everything Howard. Okay, maybe I won't ask how
Yeah.
you acquired that, but that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
let
good
me
to know.
if you need anything. Yeah, and thank you. And Forrest, it was a good run. We had a good run.
Yeah,
we always had.
I guess. Team Craig. See you later, guys.
Bye.
And we have a meme transition.
Hey, it's Boogie. Steppers through the way, everyone out there.
Now, this is very interesting. Now, really, ladies, if you're listening, and men, and everybody in between.
If I tell you you've got a homicide, buddy, you've got a homicide.
I hope to hear from you soon.
I am proud to own the Trumpy Bear, and I will always be proud to be an American.
Put it in the outro. Until then, have yourself a great day, and as always,
There's no cum on my mic.
rock on.
Stop the baloney, huh? What kind of statement is that?
I wrote it. One of my favorite players to cover when he was here was Mike Vrabel. Tell me Mike Vrabel's story. Whatever, dude. I keep it cool at the gym.
Piss on it.
Fuck you, Mike. Fuck you, Mike. Fuck you, Mike. All right. Stop, my belly hurts.
My dad was in the military.
Was that, sir?
Can you please kindly F off, please?
If a person is on a bridge, threatening to jump, how do we know that he wants help?
Okay, I hope nothing bad happened.
Money, 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 money. Fuck, please.
Anyway, God bless America.
Put it in the outro.